Hey guys.
Hello.
I saw him click. Now I'm depressed.
You were really hoping.
We've beaten it out of him.
You were really hoping for the cold opening.
Just the look of lifelessness in your eyes. It hurts my. It hurts
look,
my soul.
I'm here for it. Welcome back to Lorecast Eternals. I am Phil.
Phillips is sustained by Mitchell's pain.
That is a true statement. I am highly dead on the inside.
That was Mitchell.
Hi guys, I'm Mitchell.
And I want to die. Hey everyone, I'm Jacob, and like Phil said, welcome back to Lorecast Eternals. So yeah, this is episode is coming a little faster than the last one was, just because our episode got a little fucked up. Cause
somebody keeps on getting sick? ? Somebody had to go do something? ? Somebody.
No, the last one was
keep getting
it
delayed.
was because of my job, because fucking James got a bleed. And that's why we delayed it, and then that's why we're doing back to back.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, that was my emergency job thing.
Yeah.
So we're doing Ossiarch Bonereapers in this episode, and then after this episode, we're going to go back to the one every 2 weeks, because this should get us back to normal.
Well, hopefully one every 2 weeks.
That.
That's what we shoot for.
Yeah,
It may be one every 3 weeks. One every 4 weeks.
one every semi-generation.
We try.
I'll see you again in 50 years.
Sometime.
We're also starting a new thing this episode where we're going to be announcing what next week's episode is in the beginning of the current episode, just because I know we've been trying to post it in the Discord and we've been kind of ass at it, so this is just how we're going to do it from now on.
Yeah, and also it makes us keep us to our word and be like, oh.
Yeah, there's physical proof that can't be deleted, so we can't be like, no, I never said that.
So, next episode, although, this one is... Oh my gosh, why? Bonereapers.
Ossiarch Bonereapers.
Ossiarch Bonereapers.
No, listen. Dick Skeleton.
Yes.
If you can't remember the name, just remember Dick,
Dick
Skeleton.
Skeleton.
The majority of everyone will know what that is.
It is the Sloot.
Oh, Lotta.
Yeah.
And next one is going to be
Gotrek. There we go.
I took all my effort not to say Grungy.
Yeah, next episode we're going to be doing a single character. It's going to be the angriest of angry short men. It's going to be the Fire Slayer, Gotrek. And we're going to be going over his old world and AOS stuff, because there's some shit that happened in the old world that directly affects what he's currently doing in the AOS setting. So we're going to be going over that. And are
you also watching the game?
I'm trying not to, but your phone has a moving fucking screen on my rabbit brain's movement, and I keep flicking over to it. Yeah. This episode's gonna suck dick because Mitchell is gonna be half-ass paying attention to the podcast while also watching the Aggie game. So expect nothing from him. And I'm not.
he's an Aggie, so
and I'm not gonna be contributing anything to this episode because I'm just gonna be chanting Dick Skeleton the entire time. So it's all up to Phil.
Silly boys.
Dick Skeleton.
So
rattle me bones.
Spin the wheel.
Doot, doot.
Doot, doot.
Man, can we play that?
Listen, do it with the sickness. Just look it up on YouTube.
Do
it with the sickness. Look it up. It's like a 50-second video. Watch it. You're welcome.
Do it.
We actually have the tome, the battle tome with us this time, so we're gonna.
Yeah, I bought it specifically just for this episode.
We're trying to be less degenerate and not fucking actually have the books and shit.
Because I went online and there's no lore.
Yeah, we did lots of research and they're a new army and whatnot, so.
Yeah, they came out in second edition, but this tome is from 2019.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's right when third edition came out, wasn't it?
It was no. Third edition came out in 2021 and 21.
In 20, I thought it was 20.
Third edition?
Was it 21?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just came out with Dominion, and Dominion released in 21.
All right, but this is still a relatively new codex. Oh, this is the most recent tome they have. So
yeah.
I'm gonna call it a codex. I'm sorry, it's just gonna happen.
It's muscle memory.
It's just gonna.
Why was that so loud?
May have left the volume at 50.
I'm gonna go turn that down.
No.
No.
Don't touch it.
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 What's gonna happen if I touch it?
Do not touch my refrigerator or computer.
Okay.
spit on it.
The computer's gonna scream at us randomly. But yeah, so we're gonna.
No, seriously. Clink. Woo! Clink. Woo! For those of you who can't see us,
You're getting no
I am
context.
acting out a video that I saw earlier, and it was really funny.
You are getting no context.
So,
So we're probably going to give a overall background on Ossiarch Bonereapers. And shut the fuck up, Phil.
I'm sorry.
And just kind of like their society, how they function, things like that. We're not gonna go over Catacross for the
Well,
soul.
I mean, we will
go
mention
over it
that.
like very briefly.
Oh,
That's
so
mainly because
it is Disabled Boy.
Catacross is gonna be his own episode because he has a lot of lore to himself. So we're gonna
it's like half of the lore of Ossiarch Bonereapers is Catacross.
So we're going to talk about him a little bit, but like we're going to save a lot of the deep shit for a later episode. So if y'all were here because you were like Catacross, my boy, I'm sorry. We hate you, and that's why we're doing this, obviously.
So, who are the Ossiarch Bonereapers?
Dick Skeleton.
Philip? Get off of TikTok.
Not on TikTok. Skelly Boys.
Skelly Boys. So, the Ossiarch Bonereapers are the sad attempt to
my notes, you fucking ass.
to replace what are the glorious Tomb Kings
Kings.
and have failed promptly.
Like they're cool, but they're just they don't
Okay.
have they don't have Tomb King drip. They just don't. Like I'm sorry, they
Although,
just don't.
okay, so if Tomb Kings never existed and there was not this super nostalgic idea of what Tomb Kings are, they would be the coolest thing.
This is the best way to describe Ossiarch Bonereapers. You know how I'm gonna use Ender's Game for instance, or maybe Ready Player One. Those two movies, Ender's Game and Ready Player One, they are movies that are made directly off of books. The book Ender's Game, the book Ready Player One. If the books didn't exist, the movies they'd be a good movie. They'd be a good movie,
Yeah.
fun to watch. They would stand up on their own, and they'd be a pleasant way to spend your time. But the books do exist, and thus it makes them trash. That is the Ossiarch Bonereapers of the Tomb Kings. Ossiarch Bonereapers the movie, Tomb Kings the book. 2 and 2 equals 4. Unfortunately,
like
Excuse you.
they did my boy Setrra dirty.
Ossiarch are just in fact better than Tomb Kings. Unpopular opinion.
I'm about to hit pause because me and Mitchell have to commit a hate crime.
It's not my problem.
It's about to be. But
Yeah.
no, they are a cool faction, and like I said,
Their lore is actually like hella cool because they're just how can I put this?
Dick Skeleton.
Dick Skeleton Catholics.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Kind
they constantly collect a tithe.
Dude, they're Dick Skeleton vampires.
No.
They
Yeah.
they do have priests and shit.
Yeah.
So do the vampires.
But there's no vampires in this army. They're just all Skelly boys.
Yeah. But they're more akin to vampires than the Catholic Church. Because the Catholic Church is like, frankly, once you're dead, you're God's problem. With the vampires and the Ossiarch Bonereapers, though, once you're dead, that's when they really become interested in you.
Once you're dead, it's officially your problem.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely some like kind of Catholic-ish undertones because they do have the priests, they do have the tithes and whatnot, and things of that nature. So there's like some slight undertones.
In this world, is Nagash God or is he Jesus?
Nagash is a god.
No, Big G.
I mean, he consistently raises from the dead, so I'd say probably Jesus.
Yeah. No.
Is he the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit?
Yes.
Since Nagash is an egomaniac and he's probably watching all three, please don't hurt me.
Yeah. But where to start?
I'm just gonna dive on into it. Let's do a brief little history on them. So, the Ossiarch Bonereapers actually like kind of existed
In the Age of Myth.
in the Age of Chaos.
Also, Age of Myth. The first Ossiarch Bonereaper ever created was Catacross. And this is during the Age of Myth. It's kind of going into his lore. But Catacross was born in the Gurish lands. And he was highly, in fact, like he didn't know what his life purpose was until he like kind of like, let's just say, joined the army. And
Bro.
So at this point I'm gonna interject and I'm gonna remind everyone of that song "The Unkillable Soldier" on Sabaton's new album.
and
Have
the
you actually
army
looked
now.
up?
My boy.
No, have you
Catacross.
actually looked up the story behind the guy that's based off of?
No.
Dude, the man fought in the Boer War, World War I, and World War II, and his commentary on World War I was, it was a fun war.
Shot like what, like 20,
Wait a minute, is this the
20
Finnish
some
guy?
odd times?
No. It's not.
Belgian. He's
It's
Belgian.
not Larry Thorne. No, he's a British soldier born of Irish and Belgian parents.
Is this Mad Jack?
No, Mad Jack was the one who
No.
ran around like charging people. He was Scottish, and he ran around charging German
Hang on.
lines with a fucking sword.
Yes, and
he
he was. That's the most current recorded kill of a bow and arrow in a modern war.
'Cause it was him, right? He fucking
Yes.
just straight pegged, was
Yes.
busting grapes with a fucking bow and arrow.
Yes.
Adrian Carton de Weart?
Okay. Moving on.
Anywho, okay, so Catacross
No.
might have been...
Hang on. Served in the Boer War, First World War, and Second World War. He was shot in the face, head, stomach, ankle, leg, hip, and ear. Was blinded in his left eye. Survived 2 plane crashes. Tunneled out of a prisoner of war camp. Tore off his own fingers when a doctor declined to amputate them. Describing his experience in the First World War, he wrote, "Frankly, I had enjoyed the war." That was Sir Adrian Carton de Virat.
He got
Or
fucking
we are-
he got fucking knighted.
It's Wiart. You fucking kidding me? You fucking bet your sweet ass he did.
I thought he might have been a little too insane to be knighted.
Yeah, he was born 1980 and died in he was born in 1880 and died in 1963 at the age of 83.
That man had a
That
great
man
life.
beat the current average age of death for men nowadays by 10 years after being like machine gunned down
Oh my
over the
god.
3 fucking wars.
He was a lieutenant general when he died.
Okay, continuing.
Wait, was that post or was that pre or post?
Bria-
It just says that his rank was a lieutenant general.
Well, I know whenever you die, you
This
get
is an
murdered.
Age of
Not-
Sigmar
not always.
podcast.
Always.
Not always.
He said the thing. He said the thing. Roll credit.
You bet your sweet ass this isn't at
No,
least
okay.
right now.
So no. So
Oh, he's okay. No, just in the Second Boer War.
Catacross might have been ossified in Age of Myth, but
Jesus
the
fuck.
bulk of the Bonereaper forces weren't really made until the Age of Chaos. But Nagash kept them hidden.
Yes.
Specifically because the Chaos Gods were on their bullshit, and their bullshit was unstoppable at the time.
Get any more news for us, Philip?
Philip is still on from the past tangent. Give us a second. Yes, Philip.
Bro, this man basically fought continuously from like 1899 all the way to 1947. His awards are the Victoria Cross, Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Companion of the Order of the Bath, Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George, Distinguished Service Order, mentioned in dispatches, I don't know what that means, the Virtuti Militari from Poland, the Croix de Guerre from Belgium, the Legion of Honor from France,
This is the
and
most
the
Philip's ever fucking talked in a
Croix
podcast episode.
de
I know, it's so weird.
Guerre from France again. Yeah, like, fuck, dude, what the shit.
To be
Do
fair,
we want to watch you
He was
fuck
also sent to China as Winston Churchill's personal representative, and I'm gonna go ahead and click off Wikipedia now. Otherwise, I'll be on this guy all night because this guy's fucking insane.
You want to fuck up this whole podcast episode?
What?
Hey Phil, tell us about the Harlem Hellfighters.
you shut up. We're not going to go
They're
through
really
this
interesting. Moving on.
because I don't want to hear that rant of a really cool thing.
Regiment?
Regiment.
Battalion?
Me and Phil have been talking about World War I history.
Okay, if we didn't do a 40K or an Age of Sigmar podcast,
Oh, military history, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that shit. Anywho, moving
We get
forward.
Matthew on here.
Oh
We'd
god.
never shut up.
Oh man, no, I
that
think,
man can tell you the difference between every single Spitfire engine.
I think we probably owe Matthew that because the one time he was on, we basically had him hop on mic with like no fucking like training or prep at all, and he was just like and then we just kind of like threw him out of your house. It felt really bad.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, the Ossiarch Bonereapers as a like actual army force, they existed in the Age of Chaos, but Nagash kept them hidden specifically because he knew that Chaos at that point would fucking murder anything that was thrown at them, so he just kind of kept them hidden away.
yeah.
And they didn't actually come out of hiding until the Necroquake, right?
correct.
Yes.
Well,
This is the lore reason for why they never bothered to exist. So when they introduced the new army going into second edition, this is why they were suddenly existing.
well,
'Cause Nagash was like, haha.
they were also existing by the idea of collecting gravesand for the Black Pyramid, but at the same time,
I thought that was just standard skellies.
That was standard skellies. However, some of the skeletons that made the Black Pyramid are now in a particular legion of Ossiarch Bonereapers. I don't think they were initially planned for the Ossiarch, but then they kind of got put in the Ossiarch, and they got remade for the Ossiarch Bonereapers because those skeletons in particular are damn near invulnerable to magic because of the gravesand and whatnot.
let me give you the names
makes
of
sense.
those real quick, because I know exactly which one I'm looking at.
We have the battle tome, guys.
Oh my god.
We'll probably go over a couple units.
The
as well,
Null
'cause we have
Myriad.
the battle tome, and like
The Null Myriad.
Yes, Myriad, M-Y-R,
Myriad.
Myriad.
Like I was saying, we'll probably go over a couple units because we have the battle tome, and unlike the Soulblight Gravelord, it's not just like skeletons and undead dragons. The Ossiarchs do have some pretty unique models, so
Yeah. So this is something we won't get to talk
namely
about.
Dick Skeleton.
Because it's not on tabletop, but this is just something that, like, while doing research, I came across that I think is really freaking cool. So did you know that the Ossiarch Bonereaper actually has one of the largest navies in the Mortal Realms?
Dude, they kept on saying.
Motherfucker, I was telling you about this earlier.
I kept on writing some.
Fuck you were.
Fight.
The
kiss,
fuck you were.
kiss,
Anyway,
kiss.
moving on.
It happened literally like 30
so-
or 45 minutes ago in the living room.
The fuck it did.
Motherfucker.
Fight. Kiss.
But yeah, no, they have a very large navy, and the way that they make their ships is quit getting fucking butthurt and just fucking participate. All right. But yeah, they're literally grown from bone matter that they collect as part of their bone tithe.
Yes. I mean, everything that is in the Ossiarch Bonereaper is part of the bone tithe. That's like their form of life.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, I know what you're thinking of. I'm not talking about the fucking floating platforms. You were talking about the platforms. You didn't mention their navy specifically. You just mentioned the platforms.
I did, in fact, mention their navy, but yes, I was mainly talking about the platforms.
Yeah, I remember you talking about the platforms, but like, yeah, no, like whatever you said about their navy, like, did not stick if you mentioned them. But yeah, no.
I could fucking tell.
Yeah, no, like I have no recollection of you talking about their navy.
Give me my slack.
Give me a second, I will.
Oh, it's because you rolled over them. No, you're still on it.
I just want to lay back.
No, well, you're on mine.
No, I'm not. There, slack.
Nice.
Bro, that is like basically under your wheel.
I'm gonna have to sit like this.
No, just move the cords out from under the...
Bruh, it's fine. I'm already in my lax position. Oh.
No.
I am untangling the cords. Please continue talking. Give me a second.
So, Philip, tell us more about the...
Okay, there we go.
Tell me more about the Navy.
I mean, that's really all it is to it, is that basically the ships in and of themselves... I couldn't find anything that said definitively whether or not they were creations of, like, the Ossiarchs. Because, like, with the Ossiarchs, everything is crafted from bone, and they craft it into, you know, designs and sculpts that they then use to their benefit. And then they implant that with kind of these almost artificial souls, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't
Well,
find
a lot of
anything
time the
that
souls-
said whether or not the ships themselves had souls of their own, but I would imagine that they would.
I wouldn't think they would.
How the Ossiarch work is that they craft a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a sepulcher. Basically, the body of an Ossiarch is an empty husk, and it's created for whatever purpose they need for war, and then they fill that with a bunch of souls of their enemies.
A golem?
Sarcophagus.
They're basically automatons, essentially. Stuff with souls.
Sarcophagus is the word you're looking for.
Yeah,
So-
and how they do that is they make a gem, a really special gem with a bunch of really like high tier necromancies, and they shove that into the automaton, and then just shove
So
a fuckload of souls
The gem
into
itself
it.
So,
is made out, is
I'll-
construction made out of soul
Also,
sand.
but also to be really fair, with these like gems that they shove souls into, these are fractured souls that they get rid of all the memory, and it's they only keep anything from like the martial prowess of warriors. So you got like
You know, we should probably actually
Their
describe
decision
exactly
making.
how all the Ossiarchs are made, because we're kind of jumping in at the middle here.
That's the best way to do it.
Really? Because like whenever I do that, you fucking yell and bitch at me for like 30 minutes afterwards.
Let's jump back to the Navy because this started because you're talking about whether or not the ships like are sentient or
well, whether or not they have
souls in them.
Souls, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, okay.
That's probably.
I really do
could
think we
see
should go. We should roll that back to the beginning though, just explain briefly how everything is collected, or how like they get their bones and how they work with their souls. And things
the
like
majority of their bones are getting through the bone tithe.
Yeah.
I do know that the I think they're called morticians, which are like the bone priests essentially.
It's not quite mortician.
Mortisans or something.
So there's a
I
specific
think it's
caste because
Mortisans.
the Ossiarch Bonereapers are based off of a caste system.
Yes, and-
Mortisans.
Mortisans, and we will get to that later. But basically, they're bone priests.
Yeah.
They get a bunch of their bones that they use for their magic
So-
and shit from the bone tithe, but they also like craft. And they use, I think they call it like ossified material to make crazy shit.
Bone.
So it's not just like, oh yes, I have an arm bone and I do think that it's basically like, I just take calcium bone shenanigans.
Bippity boppity. Oh, look at that. There's a whole ass ship.
Yeah, like it was at one point a bone, but then it gets turned to like a super sturdy, weird, just calcium based ossified material that they do head ass shit with.
It's like the Eldar when they sing like the
Wraithbone, yeah.
Wraithbone, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty good comparison.
But you know, instead of like taking it from the warp, they go like, "Ooh, let me just reshape this bone."
It's just infused with really powerful
So-
death magic.
Yeah, so basically the way the Ossiarch Bonereapers work is whenever they conquer a new area, they go in, they go up to a town of mortals, and this is why I really do like comparing the Ossiarchs to the vampires, because in both situations, neither of them want to just slaughter everyone. They still need their cattle.
Yeah.
So whereas the vampires feast on the living, the Ossiarchs
Feast on the dead of the living, but they need living to be around to die.
Well,
to
exactly.
make bones.
It's not
don't
just the
feast on
dead.
them, but they collect the bones of the dead.
Metaphorically.
It's not just the dead as well, because people will cut off arms, cut off fingers,
oh
cut
no,
off
no,
toes.
shush. I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a very specific faction of the Ossiarch I want to talk about, but I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But no, he is
the
correct,
Ossiarchs will go in, and they basically say, "Hey, we're your rulers now. You owe us a bone tithe." And basically, it's like, "Hey, every time we show up, you must provide us 200 pounds of bones." Is basically what they say.
It's a much larger number. We're just coming in for
It depends on the size. If it's a small village,
they-
they realize that like they're not going to get
majority
everything.
of
not always.
The
but yes,
majority
normally.
of them do try and make the bone tithe a sustainable thing.
So like while the Ossiarchs may view humans as cattle, it's not like they may be cattle, but you also like don't treat your cows like shit because like,
Yeah, it's in the same sense
in
that a good
a very
farmer.
like hyperlogical perception that would ruin the meat. It's the same type of way. Like they don't want to do a whole lot of harm to these towns and villages and cities because then like if the less humans there are, the less bones there are, the less their bone tithe is, the smaller the army is.
Yeah, they're looking to be that eco-friendly, sustainable resource.
Like they're still dicks, but like they're not like murder hobo dicks.
Yeah, and
normally.
where they get into the dicks is, like we mentioned earlier, if the bone tithe cannot be met, they will demand payment from the living.
And not only that, so yeah, they'll demand payment of the living, and that is basically like, yes, cut off your limbs. But like I said, there's a very specific faction of Ossiarchs that do dumb shit like that. But basically, if you say no, fuck your bone tithe, that's when they're like, yes, time to flip the murder hobo switch.
Yeah, because whenever a disease starts spreading in your cattle, the best way to cure the disease is to eradicate it. And we can't have the disease of free will existing inside of our cattle.
Also, remember that with the Ossiarchs that don't really care about the sustainability, their thought process is, well, they're gonna die anyway.
Well, no, like that. That's
Yeah.
no. That's what I read though. Is that literally they try and make it as sustainable as possible.
Well, some of them, as you stated, that they just do not care. Like they don't.
The majority of them do try to
Yeah,
make it sustainable so they can continue to harvest.
Yeah, but it's the ones that don't care that just go like, they're gonna be dead anyway.
Yeah, that is very
The
fair.
reason why this is important is because
And again, the differences here lead into the whole like sub-faction thing.
and it's not like yes, I'll be back next month for more bones. It's basically like
It's a once a year thing. And
No, sometimes it can take generations for them to come
basically
back.
Ossiarchs will pop up, ask for bones, and sometimes they'll fuck off. And when they come back, they've been gone for so long, the town no longer understands the Ossiarchs' language because the dialect has changed so much over time that
So-
basically we'll be speaking normal and they're speaking like 1700s
or no,
English.
I
and
read-
acting like
I
that.
read something about this.
More like,
So-
it's more like they show up. get their bone tithe, leave, and by the time they show up again, they're speaking literal Old English, which is basically like a precursor to modern German, and we're speaking like the King's English.
Yeah.
And it's just like nobody knows what's going on.
You were saying, Mitchell?
So I read in the Battle Tome to kind of like, not saying y'all are wrong, but also to kind of add on to that, because there's the whole entire terrain piece, the Bone Tithe Nexus.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be bringing back the Bone Tithe is what is supposed to be like a yearly thing, and they're supposed to bring their tithe to the Bone Tithe Nexus.
Mitchell is correct. It's supposed to be like a yearly thing. It just doesn't always work out that way.
The way that I read.
No, also, when they return and they can't understand the language, what they will do is that they will grab the bones of the dead and just shape them right there and be like, speak. Because they can grab that soul, or they will grab one of the people, kill them, and then make them speak on behalf of the Ossiarch Bonereapers.
Yeah, and one important thing to note is that whenever they do conquer a new land, the bone tithe, the way that they collect it is they don't like to dig up the bodies themselves, so to speak. What they leave is they leave behind these bone tithe nexuses, and then the nearby communities are supposed to bring their bones to the nexus.
Essentially,
and that is supposed to happen every year.
Essentially,
yeah.
Bring out your dead.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm not dead yet.
Essentially, I'm not dead. Occasionally.
I'm not dead yet. Yeah, but Nagash is coming for our booty hole, so like you're dead now.
Oh, I'm gonna move that so I can actually see what the levels are. Oh, I can't see my mouse. Oh, there we go. And
there you go.
And then bring that over there.
Sorry, our recording room has got a little jank right now, so we're kind of cramped. So like Mitchell is like is
it's under construction.
He's a computer boy, so I'm in his way, and I'm like fat, so I'm just kind of.
I'm
like,
sitting on my
shit.
very fancy chair.
Mitchell decided to be bougie. It's a huge inconvenience to everyone involved, but Mitchell wanted to be bougie. That's what's happening.
This is a Italian chase that was made in Italy, custom made in Italy, and I'll be damned if I don't sit in it.
Everyone shit on him when you hear this.
But I'm the one sitting in the antique.
That chair's from the 1800s, and I got that for free.
Don't worry about it. I've already farted in it.
Why would you do this to my antiques?
Look, your options were either your custom Italian bullshit or your antique.
Well, since Philip's already shitting in your 1800 chair, I'm just going to shit in your computer chair now, so it just like spreads the love everywhere.
Then you and I can both shit on his pillows, one for each.
Why would you do this to me?
Mitchell, I got to make sure you know I love you.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Just like a cat who shits on your bed.
Okay, so that's the bone tithe, and that's mainly how the Ossiarchs keep their supply of bones that they use for their infrastructure and their armies and their vehicles and all that shit. It's not like the only way, but it's definitely the majority.
Yeah, and now that they have their bone tithe, what happens next?
Lots of things. Specify.
Mortisans.
Okay, so basically once they get the bones, they go to the mortisans like we're talking about, which are essentially bone priests. And this is... I always fucking forget if these are actual Ossiarchs themselves or if these are just specialized necromancers that are provided by Nagash.
I know they're necromancers.
So,
I don't know if I read anything that said they're not
So
Ossiarchs,
a lot of
though.
these mortisans back in the day when the Ossiarchs were first being created, they put all their magic efforts into this, but they also died in the process. And Nagash is like, well, you already know the process. I'm going to bring you back. And just gave them less free wills because that's what Nagash does.
Nagash.
And so that's where a lot of these mortisans will come from.
Okay, so the mortisans are
they
undead,
were alive.
but whether or not they're just undead or like Ossiarch, like ossified undead, I'm not entirely sure.
I'm
but-
actually-
No, they are
They
Ossiarch.
are.
yeah, I'm actually looking
Okay.
at a piece of art right now that they are 120% Ossiarch.
Gotcha. Okay, so these mortisans, they'll take these bones and then they'll
Quit
start
watching the fucking game.
and
Wait, I'm trying to be a good Aggie here.
then
If you were a good Aggie,
You're good
I
Aggie.
would,
If
I
you're
were
a
a
good
good Aggie.
Aggie-
You would have paid your $200 for your standing ticket, and you'd be down there right now. You ain't no good Aggie. Put your phone down.
I am a good podcaster at the same
this is
time.
gonna get violent, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, I just don't understand why he bothers watching. He already knows that team's gonna lose. They're gonna get a lead in the first half. In the second half, they're gonna turn to absolute garbage.
He's crying.
I can hear Jason laughing from the other room.
Mitchell's crying, just so you know. Not physically, but I can hear his soul wailing.
I have never been more ready to fight this man.
Yeah, but tell me I'm wrong. How many games did we watch while we were bus drivers where that is exactly what happened?
I like how we've come to a point where whenever we're in the bar and I was talking to the guy, I'm like, yeah, I've been a diehard UT my entire life. And it's just like, everyone sucks. He's like, yep, everyone sucks. It's
Yep.
just fucking everyone is shit. Anywho,
We're doing
This is
pretty
why I
good
don't
this
watch
game, though.
football.
Dude, 2015.
Also, because I don't understand football.
2014, 2015, I forget which season it was. It's when Notre Dame faced Alabama and got
Oh,
crushed.
damn.
It just like destroyed my soul.
Oh damn,
Anyhow,
that's a nice throw.
Is it still in the first half?
Yes.
Then it doesn't matter.
This is an Age of Sigmar podcast.
Shut the fuck up.
Excuse me, but you're the one talking about like how trash the Longhorns are now.
Anywho, so the Bones,
Yes.
Yes.
Bone Daddy. Dick Skeleton.
Dick Skeleton, the Bones will go to the Morrisons, which are bone priests, and that's when they'll start imbuing all of these normal ass human or humanoid bones with specialized like necromantic energies and whatnot to turn them into material that can be used for the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Because normally like our bones are decently sturdy, but like once you die and you rot away and it's just your skeleton, your bones can get quite brittle and whatnot. So
Brittle, but still very strong. Because did you know the Eiffel Tower is actually based off the structure of a human bone?
Which one?
The one in
why do I feel like a
France.
dick joke's coming in?
The one what?
The one in France.
Which bone is it based off, you fucking walnut?
Oh, which
All
bone?
three of them are the exact fucking same shape. They're
Okay.
different in size. They're the exact same shape.
I said the Eiffel Tower, and you said which one? Now
Fucking bone, Mitchell.
the bone structure, the inside where it goes, the little cell bits.
Okay,
in
you're
the
talking
cell.
about the interior structure of a human bone.
Yes.
Which one?
Well, not your dick. I can tell you that.
Fucking done with these guys.
No, I'm going with dick. It's French. I'm going with dick.
Good to know that you're part platypus. Moving on.
Anywho.
Oh my god, fuck.
So,
My head
yes, Mitchell, you are correct that bone can be durable even after death, but it is still not exactly fit for war.
True.
Like
Ask
the,
Mortician how lethal bone dust is.
the Soul Blights will use undead skellies and whatnot, but a lot of their battles are also just like, yes, I have 90 million skellies, have fun, fucker, you know? Where
Yeah, they don't do anything to fortify their skellies.
Ossiarchs are very much like, no, like our skellies aren't just normal undead skellies, they're like beefy skellies. Think like
Okay.
battle droids, super battle
They're
droids.
skellies who drink
To
their
not
milk.
Yes.
to not detract, but have y'all seen the new episode of Overlord?
No.
Fuck, I keep forgetting the new season's out. So I watched up to like episode 6.
No, I
And then like I haven't seen anything
Okay,
past that.
we're
to you.
then that answer is no. We'll deal with that later.
I got to you.
Continue.
On the other hand, real quick though, House of the Dragon fucking lit as shit.
Before you leave, log into your HBO account on my thing so I
Not
can
my HBO account.
After
log into your.
it's James's, and I'll call him.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like I'm gonna get absolutely fucking roasted in the fucking Discord for
Oh no,
this.
don't. No, I know what you're gonna say. Don't bring it up. Just don't even bring it up.
I know it's
Because
not
I have
accurate.
to. I have to jump in with you on this. I'm pretty sure and
I
help
know.
defend you. But
I
like,
know it's not accurate. I completely understand that, and it aggravates me too. But it's fun to watch. Talking about Rings of Power.
I actually really enjoy it.
It's
Yeah, that's the
fun
funny
to
thing.
watch.
I've been enjoying it
I
too.
know it's not accurate. So
Nick,
if anyone starts
every
giving,
time
if
I
anyone,
bring it up,
if
Nick
anyone,
like shits on me hard.
if anyone
for it.
starts giving me shit about it not being accurate, trust me, fuckers. I know it's still, and it's something to do on a Friday when I'm not in Brian.
yeah.
I know, because you can't go drink mead when you're not in Brian.
Or when, like, we're supposed to play games together and Mitchell bails on us.
Sorry, I need to drink my depression away.
You could have drank your depression away and played Total War with us as well. You
Okay.
can multitask. Nick does it all the time.
Okay. I needed to not socialize.
There it
That
is.
makes
So you
sense.
went
There
to
it
a
is.
bar in
He
public.
He just hates us.
I didn't talk to anybody. I just kind of sat there and just went,
You were
interviews.
So you went to
you
a
were
bar
still
in
in a
public.
social environment.
I was, but guess what? I wasn't socializing.
Nah, you were socializing by proxy.
Shut up. At least I got to talk to pretty women. Okay.
But I thought you were,
Ah,
talking,
you were
you were
socializing,
socializing.
you
You
bitch.
weren't talking to anyone.
This fucking skank.
Fucking bitch. Anywho.
I got to flex my HLC powers. Historic Landmark Commission. I work for that. They're talking about They're talking about the Verisco building and what's going in there, and I was like, I know this.
Anywho, fuck, Jesus Christ.
Just fucking dodge.
moving on.
If you get that reference, A+.
Damn you, Pavlov! Anywho, moving on. Fuck. The bone matter Jesus Christ, it feels like we haven't been talking about this for the entire fucking podcast. The bone
It's
matter,
probably been a solid 2
it
minutes.
becomes thicker and denser and heavier and much more suitable for war.
It basically
More
becomes
akin to
imbued
armor.
with magic.
Yeah, no,
It's like it basically becomes enchanted.
No, that's 100% what it is. They heavily imbue it with magic, and it basically changes the bone itself into something that's more akin to armor and thus more suitable for war.
Hence the comparison to Wraithbone.
Yes, or they'll shape it to make like ships or make platforms or make fucking
I'm
buildings
pretty
or
sure they
whatever the
like
fuck.
kind of legitimately build cities out of it too.
No, yes, they do.
Oh, no, they do.
They will shape it into whatever the fuck they need it for, but the point being is Ossiarch Bonereaper bone is not just like normal bone. It is very much thicker, denser, heavier, more durable.
And sometimes it explodes.
Depending
like
on the
my dude.
Legion, yeah. They suicide bomb.
I'm sorry.
Suicide bone.
I'm glad none of you got that.
What did you say?
Can somebody grab my mic real quick?
Man, we are just having all kinds of fucking...
It was falling. I'm trying to fix
Hold
it.
on, give me a second.
Don't get the microphones too close to
I
each
know.
other.
That's why I'm also like not talking.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I saw like him put the microphone way out from the table, and I was like, oh, that's gonna fall.
That's why I put mine closer so I could actually get the full thing gripped on
Yeah.
because the fucking leg kept blocking me.
Yeah, no. Well, no. The issue is that whenever
Perfect.
you lean our microphones way out like that, since our table is plastic, it
bends,
literally just
yeah.
like eventually falls off. So that will in fact fall off in about 30 minutes.
You know, right now I can be comfortable and deal with that at a later moment.
Once again, Mitchell choosing to be bougie and making it everyone's problem.
Yes.
Honestly, at this point, you should probably just lay down on it and then just hold the microphone up to your face.
I mean, you know, maybe. Right now it's fine. I moved it to the more sturdy
Wow,
spot.
he even did the whole like hand flick thing.
You must
Fucking
drink with
bougie
your
motherfucker.
pinky up.
I drink brandy. Actually,
Oh,
you're spilling water.
speaking of
Damn
which,
right I am.
I might be getting some Portuguese cognac.
Excuse me, sir, but I'm gonna slap you. That would be called brandy
Nope.
because it needs to be
Nope.
made in the cognac region of
Nope.
France. You know,
No, it does not. Apparently.
Fight.
At least according to the Portuguese, it doesn't.
Round-
well, the Portuguese just don't give a damn about
round
France.
two.
Yep. Yeah, I believe they have a little bit of an issue called the Napoleonic War.
Oh, fuck.
It was only 200 years ago. What's 200 years amongst friends?
Anywho, so I swear to fucking God, Mitchell, you open your mouth and it's not something about this pod because I'm gonna fly across this fucking table and strangle
Actually-
you with your goddamn
No,
microphone
that
cord.
kind of is the joke. Is like, what's 200 years amongst friends? Looks at Nagash.
Sigmar. Ah! So once the...
Looks at Azazel.
It's not, but it is, and I don't know if I should be mad at him, so I'm just gonna move on. So, give me a second. Once the bone has been sufficiently drenched in magic and turned into the proper materials needed to do Ossiarch Bonereaper things, any of the war forms that were made are then just basically filled with souls. It can be multiple. It's not just one. It depends on the construct. Because you remember we said
Yeah.
that like basically like the Ossiarch Bonereaper
The more
forms.
complex the construct, the more souls you need, basically.
Yes, and they don't just like have like one skelly, one soul. They make constructs that are there for specific purposes. It's kind of like wartime communism. Every single construct has a one specific job that's given to them by Nagash.
Yeah.
And then they're filled with the appropriate amount of souls, and these souls are normally souls that they take from enemies they've killed.
And all of them are expendable.
Yes, and then they're
It's
like,
very
cool,
communist Russia.
You giant skeleton with dick skeleton, go like break this wall and then terrorize everyone with your dick skeleton, and then they'll fill with souls, and then off the fuck they'll go. Or if they need ships, they'll make a really porous, aerated version of bone, and
They
make it into a
basically
ship.
make bone pumice.
Yeah, or if they need buildings, and you know, so
Did you
on
say
and so
bone hummus?
Pumice.
Oh, but it's,
Pumice.
Oh man, I feel like bone hummus would just be like hummus, but like with bone marrow in it.
I don't know how that would
Okay,
be.
actually, that does sound pretty good.
That sounds
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, no, you
Bone
initially
marrow
just said
is just
bone
meat,
in it,
it's
and
just-
I was just like, you fucking disgust me. And then you said bone marrow, and I was like, oh man,
Like-
you might be
like
onto
hummus
something
is
there.
already kind of has like a
Well, it depends on what you put in it.
well, yeah, but I mean, if you're just like fucking doing like garlic and shit, and garlic and some herbs, and just putting eating with like some flatbread or some naan,
Yeah, I can see that.
because I mean, bone marrow is just meat butter essentially.
I hate that phrase.
Oh,
but
so
it's
do
pretty
I, but it's pretty
accurate.
accurate.
Yeah, I fucking hate that phrase. Yeah. But for those of you who've never had bone marrow, it's like the consistency of butter, like table butter.
It doesn't look super appetizing, but if you get past that, it's fucking delicious.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'll eat that shit with a spoon.
I mean, yeah, but me and you also, like, we were cooks and shit. We don't judge a book by its cover, but when you see a gray, gelatinous, black spotted mass, it's not exactly
Okay,
super
to be fair, I've
appetizing.
never had bone marrow that was gray with black spots in it.
Just it can look a little gnarly.
It looks and has the consistency of butter, but then it tastes like steak. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking good, especially when you have those little fucking like pieces of brioche. They're toasted, and you have like.
Oh no, fuck the toast! I eat that shit with a spoon.
Oh god. Anywho,
That shit's delicious.
point being is the morticians or the mortisans will take these bones and they'll do literally whatever the fuck that the Ossiarch need as a faction.
In this sense, if you're used to 40k, the Ossiarchs are basically an entire faction built with Wraithbone. Like if you're familiar
with the
40K.
mindset of Necrons.
Yeah,
It's pretty
accurate.
fucking accurate, which is also really ironic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. War in heaven, what's that?
Do we want to talk a little bit more about like
40k podcast one.
we'll talk a little bit more about the gems, or have we basically gone over that?
They're made from soul sand.
Yeah. We don't.
They're
Super condensed soul sand diamonds
they're
that they
almost
that they shove
indestructible.
souls with.
Yeah, and they're almost indestructible.
They're very akin to dun 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 Eldar soul stones. Ha ha.
Wow, really?
Very hard
It's
to
just
make.
it's just
Almost
instead of throwing the
indestructible unless
entire
you're-
soul in there,
Almost
they shoved
indestructible unless you're
mini.
fucking watching Hammer and Bolter, and one CSM's like, crush it with my hands. Hammer.
We don't talk about Warhammer Plus in this household.
We're not talking about that. But
Okay, real quick though, the guy who made Astartes, he's making his own IP, and holy shit, that looks good.
I thought he had gotten contracted by him.
He's making his own IP.
But does he still work for Edge?
I have no fucking clue, and frankly, I don't care. I don't play for Warhammer Plus, so I don't get to watch that shit.
Fair.
Because I don't.
Which sucks
I
because
don't
the blood,
pirate,
the blood,
of course,
the blood,
obviously.
100%. The Blood Angels thing that's done by
Yeah, the guy who did Hell's Reach.
Hell's Reach looks so good.
It looks so good, but like, I
don't want to sell.
I
my
can't.
Soul.
Yeah, I
I
can't.
don't want to
trust
sell my soul to Satan.
Yeah, really.
this is the reason why we'll never be sponsored by
Okay,
GW.
someone
at the
talk
same
about
time,
the
don't care.
Ossiarch
Well, also,
Empire.
fuck GW.
Someone
Satan.
talk about the Ossiarch Empire who isn't fucking me, please. Getting through the fucking bone material was a slog because you fuckers kept talking about literally everything
So
else.
the Ossiarch Empire, well, this is the reason why it's called the Ossiarch Bonereapers, because it started in Ossia.
Thank you, Mitchell.
Ossia. And this is where Catacross comes in, because when he died in the Gurlands, he came back, into the underworlds of Shaiish, where he was like, oh, I have no fear of death, and this gives me the chance to perfect my, like, military aspects of, like, leadership. Can you not rub your beard against the pop filter?
Bro, you do this every time. I don't know why you think I'm suddenly gonna stop.
It's gonna fuck him up so bad. He keeps staring at him. Just close your eyes, Mitchell.
If I don't see it, it's fine.
Go look at the games. Just go look at the game.
It's halftime. I can't look at the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally the most interesting part of the game. Go look at it.
Let's see how good all the other teams did.
Better than
So-
A&M.
During this,
There's dedicated Aggies in the server that are gonna be under your fucking bed tonight.
I'd welcome it. I've been meaning to. I probably shouldn't say that.
oh, somebody can actually hide under my bed now because I got a bed frame.
Yeah, but like you've got so many bolts sticking out of it, like you're gonna fucking hear them whenever they like impale themselves on
They're
the
gonna be their
bolt.
fucking death screams, or they're gonna fucking walk their shin directly into that fucking hellspawn edge of your bed and just screech like a fucking banshee.
Oh no, what's funny? That's not really at shin height. That's more at like toe jamming height.
No, if you walk directly in,
Oh, no, that's
it's
higher
like
off the ground than I
somewhere
thought it was.
between your ankle and your shin, which almost makes that more painful.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like, bro. You know what that makes me think of? That scene from The Rings of Power.
You were saying?
The scene in The Rings of Power where the halfling's father like twisted the shit out of his ankle. Oh, that was gnarly.
Yeah. And just that was fucking rough. This is an Age of Sigmar podcast.
Thank you, Circe. So
Bro, I am so excited. For
God damn it!
it!
I just want to talk. It's like the meat plays all over again. I couldn't talk.
Fucking pain. It took me like 15 minutes to say the mortician sculpt bone! Because you fuckers kept talking about everything but!
Mortisans.
I'm gonna kill him.
So,
So I've
Catacross.
been looking at my nice. I am talking about Age of Sigmar.
Shut up! Why are you gonna be so talkative to this one episode?
I have no more fucks to give. My fucks have flown away.
So I hear the Leagues of Otan are like...
Oh my god.
Oh, is this a 40K podcast now?
Shut up, Philip! Shut up and just let me talk,
Bro,
okay?
my fucking ADHD squirrel brain has decided to fire on all cylinders. Unfortunately, all of the cylinders are filled with pudding. I cannot claim credit for that. I saw that on TikTok.
Philip's
like 10
brain
minutes
is
ago.
Philip's brain is currently the size of dun 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 a pickle. Or for anyone,
I'm pickle
for
Guys,
any-
guys,
for anyone who was watching
Stop!
the Mob Pot chat
Stop!
today, it's a snickle.
Stop! Let me speak! I'm gonna kill y'all. So,
There's beans in my Reese's.
Okay, we're live again.
hey,
Yes.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. We're sorry. Philip's not sorry.
I'm not sorry, but I'm willing
gonna
to
start
rein
hitting him
myself
in the titty every time he talks.
Oh, fuck.
This is why we don't do episodes every week.
Oh,
'cause we're
I'm
fucking-
lightheaded.
We have the mentality of children, and it just divulges into fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mitchell. Please go forward. We will probably tangent out later, but we're gonna give Mitchell a nice long stretch of talking before it
I'm
happens.
just
I'm
trying
not,
to.
I'm not gonna be able to string together a sentence in the next like 20 minutes.
Go.
Oh.
Ossiarch Empire.
The Catacross did something, died in Gur,
He was perfecting his martial prowess.
in Shaiish, which I believe is in the realm where
Did
the,
he go to Ossia?
Shaiish
So-
is the realm of Shaiish.
No, the certain part of Shaiish.
Oh, you're talking about the.
Did you go to
It's
Underworld or-
Necros. The Necros.
The Necros Underworld, or
Yeah.
okay. So
Which-
not the Ossian Underworld, because the Ossian Underworld, that's where Catacross Lieutenant went.
No. So like I believe it's like the city of Ossia.
Oh.
Like you know how Rome is called the Roman Empire, stuff like that.
Only one city is called Rome.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. He went there and he decided, like, he was actually he was given the nickname Catacross the Undefeated because every single battle he like fought in, he won. You okay, Philip?
I'm just getting some more.
Okay.
Here, no, I'll get it for you because you're fucking blocked in.
No, I'm good.
No. You stay.
crawl
You
over
stay.
that.
Can you get me something? Because I'm gonna get myself some water as well.
No.
So
Yes, you dumb bitch.
Doesn't get to leave.
and he actually expanded the Ossia realm, like the city state and its territories quite far, but during the Age of Chaos he actually died in the Age of Chaos, I believe.
So
quotes I hear.
But
it died again.
he died again.
Okay, so he was active as an undead before Nagash found him officially.
So when you die, you kind of go back as like the living, I think, in the underworlds. It's a really weird thing.
This Wikipedia page is not yet finished. Please help us by expanding it.
It's really weird, but it stated that he went to the underworld, he fought there, he started to perfect, because he was obsessed with his perfection of military
So
prowess.
basically, why
like
Catacross is
strategy.
such a fucking beast is because basically he died. He was like, "Cool, I'm just gonna act like I didn't fucking die and keep doing my
Yeah.
shit and becoming a fucking glorious swordsman."
No, it's not even that. It's brilliant strategist as well.
Well, it's also swordsman because he 1v1 Archon and like didn't just crumple.
Yeah. So when he died there, he actually caught the eye of Nagash, and Nagash, well, he actually didn't die there yet. He started to go against Nagash's legions, and Nagash saw him as a very strong person of great interest. Are you okay there?
Sorry, this has absolutely no fucking bearing, but James sent me something in the crew, and there's a special beer in Deep Rock right now for Oktoberfest called Best Worst Beer.
I love that.
It's fucking glorious.
So, when Catacross realized that he cannot defeat Nagash just because of the sheer numbers and everything, he actually went up to Nagash in his necropolis and went like, "Hey, let's bargain." And to show the balls on this man, Nagash actually accepted his bargain of like, he gets the undead life, so he doesn't ever die, but he gets to just fight and be a general. He's like the major general and everything.
Yeah, that's all he fucking wants. Nagash is like, I can provide you with plenty of enemies.
Yeah. So, woo, that happened, and then Age of Chaos came by. He was
Age of Chaos, TLDR, Chaos fucked
he was the main
aggressively.
reason why like Chaos was staying like having such a hard time in Shyish, because he's just a master tactician, and the only reason why he died
Was he, oh, so he,
in
wait,
the
wait,
Age of
so
Chaos.
he was fighting for Nagash during the Age of Chaos.
Yes.
I thought he was hiding with the Ossiarch because Nagash.
No,
is
no,
like,
no,
I
no.
don't want him to like get taken away.
Nagash kind of saw him and like was like, I'm gonna go get that man because like I need that man type of thing. Because
Okay. Is what happened to him during the Age of Chaos is how he ended up in that one crypt when the Night Haunt came and almost killed. The
I was
fucking
just
salesman.
literally about to get there.
Gotcha.
Can I have some of the bottled water in the fridge, or is that Jason's?
No, that's mine, and that's just the water I get from the faucet that's filtered.
Cool.
I just constantly refill them.
I'm gonna get some.
Okay. And then you know how Nagash was supposed to go help Sigmar during like the age, like right before the Age of Chaos fell type of thing.
Yeah, that totally happened.
Yeah, like woo, this like yay, and then Sigmar got hella mad.
And then he like, basically fucked off from protecting anything.
Well,
else that the
Sigmar
fuck
went
over-
into Shyish and like Catacross was more of a, I can't win this fight, but I must fight anyway. And actually, their battle, it doesn't like actually give the details of what their battle was like.
Oh, he fought Sigmar?
He fought Sigmar, and he was not a pushover for Sigmar. It said that their battle actually was very destructive. Meaning,
Are we talking like Gorgon Mork destructive, where it created new valleys and
okay,
shit?
not like that.
Okay, I'm just trying to gauge it.
I'm pretty sure that's just propaganda.
It's Orcian propaganda.
Yeah. But he actually fought Sigmar, and he was thrown into a storm vault because Galmaraz could not destroy his soul.
Because of his connection to Nagash?
Or, like, his willpower was just that strong.
For whatever reason. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And that was Galmaraz at full power.
Yeah.
Because the only way Galmaraz is stronger than in the Celestant Prime's hand would be in Sigmar's hand.
Yeah. So that's how he died, and all that good jazz, and
Well, he's 1v1 both Sigmar and Archeon, and he's still alive, kind of, so, like, fucking man's a beast.
and all what he literally says is that like he fought those two and he's still alive by the grace of Nagash.
Yeah, I bet Nagash is like, no, don't take him. I like him a lot. I
Yeah.
needs him.
Yeah.
Because as strong as Nagash is, honest to God, I've never seen him as like a military commander. I honest to God think that Catacross is probably a more proficient military commander.
Yeah.
Because like Nagash, like when he steps the battlefield, like you're gonna die, like you're fucked. But when it comes to like being like tactics and strategy and logistics and shit, I just don't
Remember,
think
Nagash never actually steps on the field. It's only an avatar of Nagash.
Well, you know what I mean though. Like
Yeah.
whenever his avatar shows up, you're fucked. And but because he's powerful, he's stupidly powerful. But it's just when it comes, like I said, to logistics and tactics and strategies, I don't think he's ever really cared.
Yeah.
I think he's always been like, I'm just gonna res someone to do it for
Purple
me.
Sun his way through.
Yeah. So like, no, So yeah, no, he probably fucking needs Catacross because he needs someone to be his tactician because he just isn't one.
Yeah.
And he definitely can't let like fucking Arcan do it. Arcan can't do a goddamn thing right.
Yeah. So that's how Catacross got shoved into a storm vault, and
Who can? Not Arcan.
and the Ossiarchs were just kind of being rebuilt or being built through the Age of Chaos, waiting for an opportune moment to come out.
So it's fair to see that Ossiarchs are to Nagash what Stormcasts are to Sigmar.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna get like that type of army from all the factions, or is it like the Realm Lord? I guess the Realm Lords are the only army of the elves, right?
No,
Of the High Elves.
of the High Elves, yes, but no,
Oh,
of
High
the
Elves,
Elves, no. We should be getting one more, and that's from the Shadow Realm of like.
Olgu and shit.
Oh,
Do you think we're gonna get like a Stormcast version for every race, like
No.
Ossiarch or the Stormcast for death?
the reason why this is the Stormcast version is because it's the
Because
way
death is so big.
and they needed a way to
Replace Doom
They
Kings.
needed a more elite heavy army.
and try to replace Tomb Kings and make me cry.
If anything, we might see a Stormcast version of Cities of Sigmar.
No.
We'll see an
No.
updated version.
If we were gonna see one.
Oh.
I just didn't know if like the elves are gonna get one, if the orcs are gonna get a new army
No.
that were like the Stormcast version of, you know.
No.
No, if anything, what we would do is we would get something to bring kind of a Bretonia feel to the Cities of Sigmar. But it probably wouldn't be a complete rework of cities.
It'd be Bretonia, but a little less horse, a little more cannon.
Dude, okay, so not off topic, but off topic. I think my
This
Death
is an
Army.
Age of Sigmar podcast.
I think my Death Army is gonna be Soul Blight.
Nice.
I thought I remember back in the ye olden days before the podcast when Mitchell was like, I can't wait to do my Nighthaunt army, and then just fucking.
I just
never
guess
did.
I'm never gonna get that back.
Why don't you call her and ask for it?
Yeah.
And ask like, hey, what's the progress been on it? Communication is key.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to burp directly to the microphone. That just kind of slipped out. Yeah, no, like, just call her and ask.
Yeah, but that's
Or shoot her a message on Discord.
Me and Jess and probably Phil are going to be going up there in a couple months to go visit.
I'll probably
Okay.
be going up sooner.
Okay.
Then I'll probably be going with you on that one too.
If you want
Are
to.
you going to hang out with your grandpa?
Probably.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go back
Ooh. Where are we at?
in my room.
That
And you wonder how
I
I,
was
get
te-
off topic.
I was tempted to take the cord off out of this mic and start screeching like a fucking banshee. Okay, so that was the we were talking about the Aussie Empire. I just kind of divulged into like Catacross fanboying.
Yeah. So that's kind of like Catacross thing gets released. Blah. We're not supposed to go into the history of Catacross. What's another great topic to talk about? Ossiarchs.
Oh, you didn't fucking talk about the Ossiarch Empire.
We want to talk about the Ossiarch Empire. They kind of fell after. I was like, the man just got entombed by Sigmar, and he was like, I guess it's just not going to exist. And when he comes back,
So the
he
Aussie-
literally spends almost, I don't know how many years just reclaiming the lands because somebody let it go.
So the Ossiarch Empire is kind of like the stronghold of the Bonereapers that are they're in the interlands of Shaiish. That is where the heart of their empire is, where a lot of their shenanigans take place, and they're kind of like they're kind of like the always existing garrison of protecting Nagash's most important shit, because the heartland of the army, which is the Ossiarch Empire, is, like I said, in the interlands of Shaiish.
And that's innerlands?
Interlands.
Not hinterlands.
Yes, innerlands. The crown lands, essentially.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, sure.
What do they call? Fuck. The last time I used this term, I was playing Stellaris, and I had a really big empire, but the one sector that was like my capital in the systems around my capital, they're called.
I don't know if that specific phrase like means something in particular, but yeah, it's the most valuable section of your empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant. I didn't mean like the old Ossiarch Empire. I meant like the current one. That's basically just the Bonereapers' main.
Yeah.
Me and you had a severe miscommunication.
Another important thing to note is that they are placed next to a primary nexus of death magic.
Yes.
So the formation of their the bodies. They're bone magic, basically.
They're constructs and shit.
Yeah, they're the
ossified
ability,
materials.
The ability to craft the magic craft the constructs comes very easily to the Mortisans in this region.
And normally anytime some fucked up new dumbass death bone dick skeleton giant happens that gets added into the Ossiarch's army, it was probably made at the Ossiarch Empire in basically the heartland of Shaiish.
Yeah.
That being said, now let's talk about the Ossiarch's navy. Dun, 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 and we have come full circle.
I mean, we basically already discussed the Navy.
No,
It's really cool, but
we
like, there's
talked
not
about
a
it for a
huge
second, but
amount.
then you wanted to fall back to it to like talk.
Well,
about
no,
it.
I just the issue was is we kind of jumped and we were like, yeah, the Mortisans and like the bones, and it's just like, and we didn't explain like where they come from or what exactly the Mortisans are.
All right, so
But like, the Navy was just a cool little tidbit because like, there's not actually a huge amount of lore on the Navy. The other really interesting thing is the platforms. If you want to talk about that.
Basically, they're just like big ass wide structures of porous bone, Aussie bone material, and basically just think of them as gigantic bone lily pads essentially, and they'll actually connect land masses across oceans with this. Just gigantic ass bone
That is a true
platforms.
statement.
No, I'm just wondering who's winning and how badly A&M's losing by.
Plus 7 points.
And I'm
You
losing
missed the joke there.
is it half? So it's past halftime,
Yeah.
and A&M has shit the bed.
No, it's still 3-10. A&M winning against Miami.
Let's see what happens.
We'll see. We'll revisit this at the end of the third quarter.
So I guess let's talk a little bit about.
This is not the same team from last week. I can tell you that.
Like I said, sometimes it just
Is
takes
it the
kicking
same people?
ass. No, it is.
Shut up, Philip.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to deflect it. So I guess let's talk a little bit about Bonereaper Society, because there is in fact a society.
Yeah,
They're not,
yeah, no, it
they're not
actually
just fucking mindless. Like there is a whole.
There is
Well,
a caste
behind it.
system.
Some of them are.
But no, it's
The
not just
majority
like
of them
we
are.
exist as bone constructs for murder. Like there's a process behind everything.
Yeah, and one important thing to note is that they're actually a bit, and this is why I keep comparing them to the vampires, because their structure, their societal structure, actually is fairly similar to the vampires in that they are very structured. You are subservient to your betters.
There is castes where you are made to do this particular thing.
Yeah, and if you're in the lowest caste, you do not have free will.
And there is no promotion. There is no going above your station. The only time
It's
you
a
move
triangle.
around in Ossiarch society is going down because you fucked
Oh,
up.
look, it's a pyramid.
What?
Like the Black Pyramid
Of
dun,
Naga.
dun, dun.
Black Pyramid's upside down.
What I'm seeing is
I see an inverted triangle at the bottom of that.
What I'm seeing.
Okay.
In this picture here is Mitchell volunteering to talk about the rest of the.
Yep, that's what I heard. You
Oh,
played yourself.
Congratulations, you just played yourself.
Congratulations, you've been voluntold.
Welcome to the army, son.
Thank you for volunteering for this task, but I didn't volunteer
So-
for it. Welcome to the Marines.
The goddamn draft.
Oh, God. I actually have a story about how the Marines recruited during
This is
World
an
War
Age of
II.
Sigmar podcast.
I know.
Save it for the tangent in like 3 minutes.
Got it. Are we almost done with the entire Zero Bonereapers?
If we want to go over
After
more
this,
of their...
we're gonna talk about like a couple of their characters, a couple of the legions, and maybe the Mortars and Order. And then if we want to, we can look at a couple of their spicy
Units.
models or units.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the
So
caste
basically, like,
system of the Ossiarch Bone
If we get off
Reapers.
topic too much, it'll be like 4 hours from now.
The caste system of the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. At the top of this caste
He's
system
whipping out his radio voice for this.
is Nagash. Who would have thunk?
Really?
Shocking.
Who would have thunk? And you know what's above of that?
No one.
Well, no one. You want to
You mean who's below Nagash?
Under that.
directly below Nagash?
Okay.
Is Catacross. And
What?
fun fact, Catacross actually stands above Arcan the Black because
Yeah, 'cause he's fucking
he didn't
useless.
want
Catacross is actually
No,
fucking competent.
No, Arcan the Black specifically chose this because he doesn't want to wear the exact same thing that Catacross is wearing. He doesn't want to wear anything. If you look actually on this table, he's actually barely on the outside of this pyramid. He's just like, I'm going to be my own entity type of thing because he doesn't want to be part of the caste system because that means he has to wear the symbol of something that's from this world. And since he's a character from the old world, he finds that as like, he's too pompous, really, to wear his...
Oh, so he wants to be outside the castle so he can basically continue to represent the Tomb Kings. Kind of. The old garb and from the old world and whatnot.
Kind of, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow, Arcan doing something that I don't objectively hate.
Give it time.
Parched as my bones. So below that is going to be your, like, Archcavaloses. What is... That is going to be called the Panoptic Cast And they're the ones that
Man, that sure did sound a lot like Canoptic.
Panoptic.
Really?
Shocking.
The Egyptian theme has Egyptian-like words in it?
No, I'm pretty sure if we were doing an Egyptian theme, I'd be calling them a rubric.
No.
This is the cast
No.
system.
Rubric is Latin.
Hey, like all of our feet are
Do I have
connected.
to explain the joke?
No, I get the joke.
Okay, good. Thank you. Now shut the fuck up.
Cease and desist.
But rubric is still Latin.
I know it is. That's why it's a joke. Rubric Marine. Fuck. They have an Egyptian theme. Good God.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Don't make it my problem.
This. Oh my gosh. Just letting it happen, okay? There we go.
They'll get there.
Stroke over.
Panoptic cast is the command.
Dog, otherwise that creature would be barking 24/7.
That dog would have a seizure. He's just like, sure, no, yeah, just start foaming from the fucking mouth.
The emissary.
Probably kill Mitchell
Okay,
and get so tired of it.
so the emissarian cast is
Okay, who
actually
was touching my foot?
that was
The
my
dog,
foot.
Cease and desist.
I just want to sleep. Promptly fucking dies. I'm coming home, boss.
The emissarian cast is actually the cast that. Why? Is the cast that Arcan the Black actually oversees, and this is the cast that's specifically directed for gathering the Bone Tithe.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did you say that the Panoptic cast did something specific as well?
They're the command status. They're the ones that leads the armies.
Okay, gotcha. So these guys that are in command whenever Arcan or Arcan or Catacross isn't on the field.
Yes.
They're the command staff, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Okay.
The Ozzy Fact cast. They're really cool.
I'm sorry. The what?
He said, he said,
Ozzy Fact.
he said Ozzy facts, and I was like,
Ozzy Fact.
I was like, check the Carfax.
Oh, okay. It's ossification is what it's based off of. It's
Yeah.
ossifact.
They're
Yeah,
they're the ones that are known for just doing all the construction. And this
They do hard manual labor out in the sun.
yes.
I feel for them.
By the way, all the rest of the other two casts were right below the other,
Makes you
and
feel
these
better,
are going to be like
probably
the
mindless.
bottom of the casts.
Oh, so these are like your straight up mindless, like, man,
Yeah,
you really
yeah.
don't want to end up as
Yeah.
one of these.
And just to say, so this is kind of a more broad view as well for the caste system, because they also, like, the caste system also plays into, like, the military aspect, because, for instance, if you're, like, a cavalry unit, and you're a rider, part of a cavalry unit for the Ossiarch, and you, like, fuck up, you could, like, be demoted down below, and if you...
There's only demotion in this army. There's
and
no
if
promotion.
you fuck up enough, you might just be remade into one of the horses that get rode.
So here's actually a question that I have.
Keep on going. Keep on going. Hey! Touchdown.
For A&M?
Yes.
Wow, that's surprising.
I'm so sorry.
It's genuinely
We
surprising.
knew going in this is going to be garbage. The only people who don't know is everyone listening.
It's a 25-yard touchdown. Continuing.
Oh, that's actually kind of impressive.
Yeah.
But no, real quick, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the cavalry riders earlier. Are the horses and the riders actually separate constructs?
Yes.
Yes.
Man, I feel like that was a missed opportunity for a really neat lore piece where they're just all one.
Well, at that point,
piece.
just make them centaurs.
Okay, here's my reasoning why. Nagash is an asshole.
I'm making it difficult because
So-
I'm a bitch.
Yes.
Let it be known that these are still the souls of like warriors, and this is what they're used to. Okay. That's kind of like a big thing.
Oh, it's to give them familiarity. Gotcha.
Yes. A lot of times they're
Not to mention, you still need a way to
Like-
punish
Like,
your
I
souls.
know
like-
it's not a thing because they're skeletons, but muscle memory.
Actually, it is. If we're talking about the souls of warriors, like,
Well, yeah, conscious thought, and they can move still. I'm
'Cause
I'm just making a joke because they're bones.
because
Yeah.
here's the way I look at it is, so one thing that I really enjoy watching online is professional swordsmen, like HEMA practitioners.
Oh, man,
And
those fuckers are fantastic.
yeah, and there's this one guy that I watched, and he's fucking amazing, and I cannot think of his YouTube channel at the moment. But anyway, his whole shtick is that he really likes the longsword. He thinks the longsword is possibly the most versatile blade ever created in terms of swordsmanship.
I forget, is longsword...
well. At the same time, you can hack them with the
Yeah, and that's the
thing,
point.
and then
That's the
you can
point.
stab them
it
like a
slices,
spear.
it dices, it makes Julian...
Yeah, Yeah, basically.
But I forget.
But
the longsword that's not the same as the hand and a half sword, is it? Or is it?
Longsword is a very broad term that technically a hand and a half sword can fit into
the category?
because
Anything
in
with
modern
two
days, no, not necessarily. In modern days, we think of the longsword as being this very distinct thing, and then a hand and a half sword is a very distinct thing, and a bastard sword is a very
That's not
distinct
exactly
thing.
true.
No, basically anything that you could potentially use with two hands
And this
or
still
with one
plays
hand.
into the AOS podcast. 'Cause I'm sure someone uses a fucking sword in this IP.
Really? But no.
Listen, I'm just trying to avoid the so
That's
you know
fair.
I'm covering
But
our
no,
ass. Fuck off.
But no, so like, where was I? Oh yeah, a longsword.
I'm paying
the
attention to the
actual
game. I don't care about you.
traditional expression for a longsword had more to do with the style of sword you were practicing with.
Why must you wound me?
So no, so like
okay, so it's more like it's not the sword; it's how I'm going to be swinging this long piece of metal at you.
yeah, that's really more what it is. Because like realistically, back in the days when swords were actually used in combat, and they were more so back in medieval times, swords were also more status symbols. So your sword was custom made to you.
Yeah. Also,
So your sword would not be the same length as some other guy's sword, because if you're 5'7" and you prefer a heavier, like out towards the tip, weighting on your sword,
Versus something that could be more
versus
balanced
some
towards
other
the
guy who's
hilt
going to be
or
a little
something like
shorter,
that.
who prefers a different balance because he practices a different style of swordsmanship, your sword's going to be different lengths, and they're going to be different styles, and your handle's going to be different. And so, like,
It is
basically,
never as organized as fantasy makes it seem.
oh yeah, no. So, like, realistically, a longsword is basically just this really broad term
And
to mean any sword that you could potentially wield with two hands.
And that's why swords were really rare back in the day. That's why most people got like a fucking pike or a spear. It's
Also,
like it's
most-
9 feet tall and it's pointing
remember
at the end. Stab
what
things.
Elmsword told us is that swords were not meant to be killing. It was meant to just, like, yeah, they could kill, but against other like high-ranking people, it was meant just
More meant to immobilize, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
immobilize.
'cause he said that like it was.
Wait, who?
Elmsword.
Yeah, Elmsword. Before he got on the before Elmsword got in the Discord, I'm pretty sure he was the
It was
one.
it was a Facebook message. Yeah,
he was the
Oh
one
god,
who like
you're asking me to remember like
he was
months
like
ago.
he's like a sword teacher or something, a swordsmanship.
he
instructor or
practiced
something, right?
fencing a lot.
Yes, and he said that the sword was more used against like other like knights and important people, so they could disable them, capture them, and then sell them for ransom.
Yeah.
This is why I'm
Oh
a
yeah, no,
big
that was a big,
fan.
that was
It
a big
wasn't
thing
meant to
back in the
kill.
day.
It was
Guys-
meant to nick you
guys,
in the fucking knee.
I'm
and
gonna
disable
say it.
you.
This is why I'm a big fan of Warhammers.
Do, 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 do.
But no, but back to my original topic though.
I don't mean to keep interrupting, but that just makes you wonder, like, how would something as big as like a claymore or something be useful?
Oh, they're anti-cavalry.
Oh yeah, just chop the horse's legs off. Gotcha.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is people are like, well, how is a claymore? And it's like a
Kill the
claymore
horse.
is so fucking big that either you're at that point basically using it as a fucking mace, or the other option would be like if you're a fucking giant and you're like 6.5 feet tall in a world where most people are like 5 foot fuck all, like yeah.
And it's
But
not
no,
everybody.
the other option is
Wasn't
just
William
to
Wallace like fucking massive?
yeah. He was like 6 foot plus.
Was he?
Yeah, he was big for his time. He was really
And
big
that's
for his
why
time.
he used a claymore, right? 'Cause
Well,
he
the
was just
claymore is also a
massive.
traditional sword of Scotland.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and the claymore, the claymore
Okay, guys,
specifically really does have
guys.
more to do with
Guys,
tradition.
this is an Age of Sigmar podcast. We really
Fuck off, Aggie. We're talking about tradition.
Point being, big sword cut off horse leg.
continuing.
No,
That was so mean. He was just like, I'm trying to fuck you. Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, like I did have a point I was trying to make out of all
Sorry, I'm
this.
sorry. I'm just a very curious person. I have trouble shutting the fuck up.
But no, going back to my original topic though, the whole reason you would want a warrior or a warrior soul to go into a body that he's more or less familiar with is because, going back to how you practice, what kind of martial style you practice. Practicing with a longsword is going to be different than how you practice with a katana, because those are two swords that are compared very heavily. The longsword is like the iconic sword of the West. The katana is the iconic sword of the East.
I would say the
And-
longsword's all about power, while the katana is all about speed and
about
slashing.
technique.
It's
I would say technique.
The longsword is
thing.
much more versatile sword.
Yeah, it really
Whereas
is.
the katana really is more just a slashing sword. Like, yeah, you can still
The
stab
katana
with it,
is
but
fucking
it's really a
glorious
slashing
in the
sword.
one thing it's used for. The longsword is pretty good at everything it's used for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one good example that I read was that the katana really is all about delivering a singular blow that results in your victory. Whereas the longsword is designed to be used in combat where you're expecting to face an opponent of equivalent
Skill,
and both of you are wearing heavy armor. Or armor designed to protect you from potential blows.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing about Japan, is that in Japan, iron was extremely rare.
It was like lacquer and leather, essentially, was their armor.
Lacquer, wood, and leather was the primary form of armor, and like you might have scale mail and things like that, but it was very uncommon. It was mostly padded wool or like thickly padded clothing, leather, wood,
because the
lacquer.
majority of the metal on the island in Japan was used more for like actual like swords and shit, right?
Swords and very important tools. So
Probably arrowheads too, or that just wood, or is that or that stone?
I don't know. I'm not that much of an expert.
That's fine.
So yeah, those long swords and katanas are compared very similarly to each other. Well, if you resurrected Catacross and his primary weapon of choice was a longsword, you wouldn't want to give him a katana because he wouldn't know how to use it. And then he tried a big thing about longswords is they have nice big cross guards on them, so you can catch a sword to protect your hands.
Possibly disarm someone too, right?
If you're good enough. Katanas, like, yeah, they have the Suba, but like the Subas are not designed to catch
they're not
in the
big.
same manner that longswords are.
They're meant for like
So,
yeah. They're
and
meant
that's
for
the primary
deflecting
reason.
and catching.
And that's the primary reason you would want to put the soul of a warrior into a body they're familiar with, is so they can actually continue to do what they did in life in a meaningful capacity
And
in
actually
death.
be worth a fuck.
Yeah.
And I forget, I wasn't as well. Wasn't the
I was trying to keep this Age of Sigmar. I just kept getting distracted by his tangents.
theory, the hilt of the longsword and the crossguard and whatnot, wasn't that also used kind of like as a weapon as well, because you just like basically beat people with it?
You can,
Okay,
like,
we cannot keep on going on this
no,
tangent.
this is like a 30-second thing. Yes, you because most knights wore gloves. Yes, you could flip
Grab
your
the
blade
sword,
around,
just beat
grab
someone
it by
to
the
death.
blade because they usually weren't particularly sharp, and just beat somebody to death with it. That is an extremely valid and very much a form of martial arts that was practiced by longsword.
I believe it's
by
called half
longsword
swording.
users.
Half-swording?
No, half swording I believe is where you exchange one hand off the hilt and just literally grab halfway up the sword.
Yeah.
So you can basically have the reach of a dagger for tight spaces.
You can like control it and shit.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I'm sorry. We just talk about sword and shit, and like this is super neat, and like I have questions. Anyhow,
We should get Elmsword on here one of these days. And
right?
Yeah, really.
Once we figure out how to have people from the Discord like talk to us live and shit, and we have better facilities and shit.
Bro, if I could find a fucking HEMA place that wasn't like
Okay,
2 hours away,
we're continuing.
I would sign up for it.
The Thorak cast is going to be your typical military cast, where you're going to be your Mortec guard and all that good jazz. Nothing specialized.
Sorry, which cast was this?
Thorak.
Thorak or Thorak?
Thorak.
Okay, so your Thorak cast, that's your guard.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you have your Mornial cast? Mornial? Why must I be
We
tapped?
get credit for trying these names, not succeeding in them.
These are going to be your typical servants. Like, I'm guessing this...
Oh, so these wouldn't even be like your like basic bitch like line guys. These would be like your actual servants to the overlords and things like that.
Yeah.
Not overlords.
And then you
that's the
have
wrong thing.
the Exiles and Outcasts, which is going to be known as Para.
Wait, how the fuck do Ossiarchs have exiles when they instead of exile they could just remake them and
When all of the souls come together and collectively say "fuck Nagash."
then just reshape them and yoink the souls out, put new souls
Look,
in.
if you run fast enough.
You know, it's good. They put it in there for a
Flavor.
get out of jail free card when they get like an actual Ossiarch Bonereaper with like its own
Well,
ideas.
no.
It's the seasoning on top of the
They
meal
need-
that's just flavor.
They need a reason to explain battle shock loss
on
tabletop.
There is no battle shock with Ossiarch Bonereapers.
Wow, that's gay.
Wow, the fact that Ossiarch Bonereapers don't have morale, but Necrons still do, or Rubric Marines still do.
Rubric,
No, not Rubric. Sorry, Necrons and Poxwalkers. I
yeah.
think because Poxwalkers have
And
morale. don't they?
blood letters.
It
Anything demon
fucking
makes no sense.
infuriating.
Well, no, I can
Necron warriors should be fucking mindless.
But yeah, no, the exiles are by far, on the bottom. They're not even in the pyramid.
Oh man, it's the pyramid's dick. That's what that is.
Yeah,
they're the dick skeletons. Thank you.
Yay.
Mitchell, thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Guys, this is an Age of Sigmar podcast.
Oh no.
Dick skeletons are in AOS. Fuck off.
Hand holding isn't.
I'm sure in some very isolated part of AOS, someone is happy enough to hold someone else's fucking hands.
What time are we?
Fake
Prob-
news. Fake news.
An hour 19.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah, we're actually not doing too bad.
Yeah. These have been a little shorter.
So what do you want to cover next?
The Mortison Order.
What the hell is a Mortison Order?
The man who has the battle tome doesn't know something.
Okay, I took a nap halfway through reading this.
They're literally the Mortisons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Mortison Order. It's the Mortisons.
Yeah, no, it's literally like
stupid.
saying, let's talk about the sacrosanct order of the Stormcast. What are they? They're literally just the sacrosancts.
There's the Bone Shapers, the Soul Masons, the Soul Reapers. They're all pretty self-explanatory. They're the ones responsible for
different
building Ossiarch Bonereaper society, essentially. Not crafting it or ruling it, building it.
It's different flavors of Bone Priest.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fancy name to give your 3 different
Ooh,
flavors
now
of
we
Bone
can talk
Priest.
about again the legions, like the exploding
the
skeletons.
crematorians.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, y'all can talk about whatever the
Wait,
fuck y'all.
hold on. So flip back real quick. Was that... No, keep going. Okay, are those the symbols for some of the legions?
Yeah, these are the crematorians.
Oh, that's hot.
Explodey bones. Listen, y'all can talk about whatever the fuck y'all want. I call dibs on the Stallark Lords. Stallark Lords.
Are they the ones made from dinosaur bones?
No, they're the assholes that kill people for funsies.
Oh.
I'm going to let y'all two
The
handle that.
dinosaur bones are really fun too. Like, I'm a skeleton now. I'm a T-Rex. What? Ah! And that's basically their entire point. Is they walk and they're like, I'm gonna beat you to death with my skeleton sword, and then they just start like eating you because like they're made of a T-Rex.
No,
bone.
Oh, man. Exodite Eldar win?
So I don't think that's right because I'm just gonna go into it because the Petrifex Elite are the ones that they're made from the bones near bedrock, and they are super dense.
Thick.
I don't know what I was expecting you to say, but you saying dense like that fucking broke me.
For some reason, he said dense, and my brain was like moist.
Well, yeah, just like a good pound cake.
Butter cake?
Actually, I had some more while I was
Oh
downstairs.
man, did you? Can I have more butter cake?
Yes, you can have more butter
He
cake.
literally
yeah.
said we could have as much as we wanted.
Oh, did he? I didn't want to be a fat ass. Like I am a fat ass, but I didn't want to be a fat ass.
Bruh. Unleash
Wait,
that.
fuck Mitchell. What am I talking
Yeah,
about?
exactly. It's not like he's gonna eat it.
I'm gonna get some fucking butter.
That's all you need to know about the Petrifex Elite is that they're made from like helical bones, and that's really about it.
And they're dense.
Are they the ones that like lose fucking control when they fight, or are they a different one?
That's the Ivory Host.
Ivory Host. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You want to talk about the Ivory Host? I can give you a hint. Their bones come from Gur.
Well, their bones come from Gur. Moving on.
No.
No. Here. Actually, I didn't look up much about these, so I'm just gonna read these real quick. The Ivory Host, the Gur Tamers, the Scrimshawed Legion. Oh, I actually really like that. So, this is a little off topic, but in Dark Heresy, my first character I ever created was a Psyker. And in order for him to like make money, I made him a Scrimshawer. That was like his career path, or not career path. That was like something he could do. And so I'd use that to like tell fortunes and things like that as a psyker, as a sanctioned psyker. And so like I always really like it when people are like the scrimshot or like scrimshawing and things like that. And I'm like, oh hey, I know what that is.
Hey.
Yeah. Anyway, they're also known as the Terra. Oh, hello. Terratomortoi. Terratomortoi. I know I'm not stressing that correctly.
They get angry when you hit them. That's really all you need to know about them. They're well.
Oh, these guys sound dope as hell. Okay, reading their description, you know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of the the Space Marine chapter that's sharks. The Carcharodons.
Yeah.
Cardons, yeah.
And how you see a lot of times whenever people, like the professional painters will paint them up, they paint them up with the very, I think it's the Maui style, like,
Yeah.
not etchings, but
Tattoos.
tattoos and things like that. That's what this makes me think of with them, because their description here inside of the battle tome is polished and gleaming on the outside, bedecked in fine metals and scrimshawed with beautifully etched runes. The ivory host harbor a simmering rage that can explode into berserk violence. Yeah, and this is the legion that Nagash calls upon whenever he wants to go fuck with Gur, because
their entire purpose right now is just to take over Gur.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if Nagash is doing something, actually, this is your battle tome.
Which legion is this again?
The Ivory Host.
Ivory Host. But yeah, yeah, no, those guys actually sound really cool. Yeah,
Oh yeah, they're the ones that like lose their fucking minds when they fight, right? Basically, they go into Gur and fight orcs, and they become bone orcs.
Honestly,
when they go into a rage, their big thing is like they get to and on the tabletop when they get hit, if anybody within 6 inches of them are with
Take a second.
How do I word this?
Breathe.
Okay, you literally have the battle tome. It'll be a few pages long. Just go flip to it. You don't have to work your brain that hard.
At the start of the combat phase, each friendly Ivory Host unit that is within 6 inches of a friendly Ivory Host model that currently has any wounds allocated to it becomes subject to rage until the end of that phase. Add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made by a unit that is subject to rage, but subtract 1 from save rolls for attacks that are subject to the rage, or target a unit that is subject to rage.
Basically, while they're raged, they get +1 to hit, but they get
better.
-1 to save.
Yeah.
I hit better, but I also get hit more.
Yes.
That's actually really potent.
No, that's actually really good when you like blob up with a bunch of really shitty units, but now +1 to attack it. It's like, yeah, there's 30 of these fucking guys, and they're all pissy as shit. They're gonna just mug the shit out of you now.
Yeah.
No, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, no, that's really cool.
So,
Pair that up with a
Keep
a
on
shitty
going.
ward.
Okay, cool beans. I'm sorry.
Did Miami score?
No. Well,
did
they
A&M
did.
run again?
It's currently 6-17.
wow.
All right.
What inning? Or what inning? God damn it. What
Wait,
quarter?
6. They had another field goal?
Miami had another field goal, but this was a really nice pass. I'm sorry, just complete.
Who passed? Was it A&M?
Yeah.
Nice.
What
How many yards?
What quarter are we in?
2 minutes at the bottom of the third.
My dumbass was like, "What inning it is?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not right."
2 minutes at the bottom of the third?
bottom of the third quarter.
I think you're a little too used to playing in battle rounds.
Maybe.
2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a second.
Oh man, I hope all those drivers are back.
I'm gonna take a second and talk about.
Oh no, that was. Never mind.
Talk about the Stalock Lords.
Yes, the Stoliarch, I think is how you pronounce it. Lords. These guys are assholes. So you know how
we had to have at least one.
You know how you said that like the. Yes, we do, Philip. Yes, we do. So you know how you said.
Okay, I'm sorry, but real quick, I was not intending to make that pun, and it just happened, and I'm very happy with it.
Get some help. Continue.
You know how you said that.
No.
You know how you said that the Ossiarchs try to be as reasonable as they can with the bone tithe because they want to make sure that they have humans.
They want that eco-friendly, sustainable resource.
And so they'll come in and they'll be like, yes, human society building city thing that has like 14 million people in it. We demand 20 million bones because they probably have a bunch of dead in their graveyard. And that makes kind of sense, kind of. The math adds up. Whatever the fuck. And then they fuck off for God knows how long. Yeah, these are the people that come out and they go, the Stoliarch Lords are like, yes, Podunk village that like has like maybe 400 people in it. We demand 14.6 million bones, and every single bone you give us must be meticulously kept and recorded, and we demand all of those records in pristine condition, in complete and total legible font, and we also demand the pinky toe of every fourth child, the third molar of every elderly man above the age of 63, and the hip bone of every woman in your town in 13 minutes. And then that doesn't happen, and then they murder everyone. That is their whole shtick.
There had to be one.
Yep. Their big shtick is they just make they set impossible terms on bone tithes specifically so that they can murder entire civilizations with impunity, and then take all of the bones for the bone tithe. And then everyone's like, "Oh man, you have so many bones." They're like, "Yeah, we did. We killed 47 million people." And then the rest of them are just like, "How'd you get that many?" And they're like, "There's like 17 towns don't exist anymore." And then the Ozark are like, "Why are you like this?"
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah.
So the Null.
No, they're the ones who will on every time they show up. They never just request bones. They request the bones that are still in living people.
Yeah.
Like they are those type of.
The Null Myriad
We
are.
will accept the wet bones as well as the dry ones.
Yes. No. 100%. Like that. That's their whole shtick, and they're fucking pricks.
The Null Myriad are also cool because they're made from the skeletons that gathered all the grave sand for the Black Pyramid.
Yeah, they're basic.
Oh, that's really
they're
neat.
basically impervious to magic.
Well, they say that, but it's on the 5 up.
Obviously not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's the flavor.
Oh, okay. Real quick. This is Age of Sigmar related. Jay still hates me because the one time I played him, I had my dragons, and he, like, the first time he cast magic on the dragons, he was like, "I smite the dragons," and I was like, "Cool." On a 4-up, I just negate it. And he was
Dude,
like,
your
"Wait,
dragon's
what?"
scary.
He was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, the dragons on a 4-up, they just negate whatever magic's targeting them." And he was like,
Oh,
"Never casting on them again." And I was like, "Yeah, well,
No,
I mean, he tabled me the
Philip's
next turn."
dragons
so,
like literally never win because he has like 2.5 models, but his round ones are always fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Like his round ones, he's like, "I've killed a fourth of your army," and then like they gets to history, and that's like, "Cool, the third kills your 3 models." Philip's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
It was a fun 15 minutes though."
Yeah, no, it's just straight up because no, they're fucking dumb because it's like, oh yeah, excuse me, well, oh, I turned 1, cool, I'm just going to proceed to immediately move 12 inches in my hero phase, and then if I end within 12 inches of you, I'm going to just on a 2-up charge you.
Dun dun dun. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I still have to make the charge roll, but like,
Hold on, who's gonna talk about the Suicide Squad?
The Crematorians.
Hey.
The Crematorians are really cool because they're held together by like really dark magic, and when they die, they explode.
They just blow the fuck up.
look, all I'm saying is, I just want there to be a show about these guys, and they get Nathan Fillion in it because Nathan Fillion was in the Suicide Squad for all of like 5 minutes. Yeah, in Suicide Squad, the second movie, he played like this fucking detachable arm kid or something like that.
Oh my god,
And
that
then,
was
like,
him!
Yeah, and then fucking
Holy
died.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, he got his arms like shot to shit, and he's like, ah, ah!
'Cause
And
they're
he's
still
just,
his
like-
arms?
Yeah, and he can still feel them, but like, yeah, it was so dumb. And oh my god, I love Nathan Fillion so much.
All I'm saying
I'd
is
suck
like
his dick.
the cream. So the Crematorians roll up and like Gur again, and they're facing a gigantic orc army that has no range, and this Crematorian just like spin the wheel, motherfucker. Spin the wheel.
And the Mortis Praetorians, there's not too much about them, but these are Catacross's. This is
I'm sorry, I have one more. The Crematorians' whole shtick is they are in fact not here for a long time, but they are here for a good time.
Actually, they are here for a long time because they die, and then the gash is just like, you've served your purpose, new body. Sorry, please. continue.
Mortis Praetorians are the army of Catacross.
I'm sorry, what?
The
Mortis Praetorians.
Mortis Praetorians are the army of Catacross. They're the men.
Oh, they're his personal legion.
They're
Yeah.
basically the Ultra Smurfs of the.
They're
Ultra
the Ossiarch
Sigmar.
Bonereapers from like Ossia.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So they're literally just the hammers of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about a couple characters?
You want to go talk about?
I
the
think
Vulture?
we're saving Catacross for his own episode.
Yeah. Well, we also have we have Zandos,
The Vulture Lord?
Toss, and we have Vok Mortian.
Viggo Mortenstein? Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Vok. For some reason, his name is Vok Mortian, and I'm like, man, Volkmar, the Grim.
Xantos is
This
the
ain't
Vulture
this
King,
ain't
right?
The world that was.
My bad. It's
take out your microphone.
Zandos is the lieutenant of Catacross. He's
Yeah.
like the right hand man of Catacross. I don't know if he has a title called the Vulture Lord, but if his name's spelled Zandtos, then yeah, that's probably him.
Okay.
He has a special sword called like the Black Lance or something like that.
The Dark Lance.
The Dark Lance. There you go. You want to read out his stats?
No.
Okay. Nah.
Nah, fam.
Basically, just TLDR, Zand Toss, he's also called the Arch Cavalos, and he is lieutenant of Catacross. He's the right hand man, and whenever he was a human, he was a mortician, assassin, mortician. He killed people and did things with dead things. But his whole
necromancer.
But his whole thing is like he was very tidy about it. And whenever he killed someone, he wouldn't just like dip. He would like bury them with honors and shit, and he wouldn't leave a mess. And that was his whole shtick, is he like honored death. He was a death dealer, but he also honored it. So when he died, he went down to Ossia, the underworld of Ossia, and he just like that underworld kind of thrived on his principles of like the neatness of death, I guess. And he was kind of like it was like a paradise for him, because it was just the same shit he did, but now he's dead. I'm like, oh no. And he just like kind of vibed there. But then Sigmar rolled around and started like in Shyish and started like, I don't know, I forget if he settled in Shyish or if he just like did like murdered things in Shyish.
Was this during Sigmar's wrath of like, why didn't Nagash help me?
No, I think this is in like the Age of Myth.
Oh.
Whenever they first settled.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's in the Age of Myth or if it's when he went into Shyish to fuck with Nagash because he's mad. But the point being is Sigmar showed up with, humans and whatnot, and he was watching like them kill things and just like leave their corpses out on the battlefield to like be picked apart by birds and whatnot, and he was like, I'm going to fucking kill everyone that I see. It drove him to like fits of apoplectic rage, because he was just like, oh man, you're fucking like, you're disrespecting death basically, by not giving funeral rites and just leaving the bodies to rot and whatnot, and like, fuck you. And so yeah, he was mad as fuck, and he was like, I'm just gonna like kill. I think it's coined as a lone wolf genocidal campaign against the living in Shyish. So then Catacross found him. After a while, Catacross found him. Catacross is like, I like the way you murder things, boy, and like sucked and like yoinked him to go serve him. And he was like, fuck it, I get to kill I get to kill things more being with Catacross, so like, fuck it. But then Catacross gave him the Dark Lance, and the Dark Lance's whole thing is like, it focuses your intent. Like, whatever you want to do, it like hyper focuses your mentality on it. So like, it kind of becomes all consuming. And unfortunately, the Dark Lance did that to Xandatos, but on his need to kill things, to create death in Shyish, not on the neatness of death. So now he's basically become a rampaging barbarian that leaves death in his wake, just like the ones of Sigmar. But because the Dark Lance, he's just like, I don't fucking care. So I they don't like directly say this, but I kind of see it as like a duality thing, where like half of him is like murder shit, and half is like, oh my fucking god, bury these motherfuckers, and he's just like basically screaming in his mental cage.
Gotcha.
I love that.
A little tragic, but also like he's kind of a cool character.
Yeah. What was how did you say his name again?
Xandatos. Zandtos.
Gotcha.
Xandatos.
So, do you mind if I go ahead and take one next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm actually going to go ahead and do the leader of the Ivory Host, Guri Ixza. Guri... Yeah, Ixza, I think. Unless it's the Chinese pronunciation for an X, in which case I have no idea. Anyway, this is known as the Drake Slayer Queen and the Monarch of Tusks. Not Mortarch, mind you, just Monarch.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the leader of the Ivory Host.
Oh, it's a female.
Yep.
Is she a vampire or a skeleton?
All Skelly.
All Skelly?
Yeah, these are the Bonereapers.
Does it matter then if they're male or female?
I mean, theoretically, no, but this would be.
I guess like it's just the soul, and
this isn't the AdMech where they don't care. This is the Ossiarch where like a lot of the leaders are still very much hold on to their
I'm
old
dead,
traits.
but I have my identity and my ego, and like,
Yeah,
As
exactly.
long as it's not the Silent Queen.
Excuse me,
why,
Jesus.
Why would you? No, shut the fuck up. Why would you bring that up? Why would you say that here? Why would you bring that up in my presence?
But no. So, in life, she was actually
You get foot tickled for that motherfucker.
Oh.
she actually was a queen, like a warrior queen. They imply that she's from Gur. I couldn't find
the name makes sense basically.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything that said she wasn't. So I'm going to assume that she was actually from Gur. But she was a very proud warrior queen who like just fucking was kind of obsessive, but mostly she just wanted
Like in
to
general
conquer.
or over something in particular?
Just kind of in general. But unfortunately, when she became dead, that became a lot more potent. And
Nagash
so,
is like, gimme.
yeah, and so now she's basically just a murder machine with her mind set on conquering all of Gur in Nagash, basically for Nagash. A really interesting story about her, though, is that she actually came into contact with the soul, contact and conflict with the Soul Blight Grave Lords of Gur.
The Vikros dynasty?
The Avangori.
The beastie ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are they're all the one that are all like fucked up centaur.
That is the Avangori, right?
I thought it
Yes.
was the Vikros.
No, I think it's Avangori. They're the ones that are all like.
Hey, it's only been a week. I've slept 7 times since then.
Point
Yeah,
being,
no. The Avangori are the ones who are...
very bestial,
Yeah.
and I think they're all
Yes,
like,
no, that is the beast one.
they're all like half chaos beast basically.
Yeah, that is the very bestial one. I just had to double check that real quick. But yeah, basically that got into a conflict over the bone tithe. Because the vampires
Wait,
were
did they
like...
try to bone tie the Avangori?
No,
Okay,
No.
Avangori's like, motherfucker, did you just?
no, basically it has less to do with like they're demanding bones from the vampires, and it's more like the Bonereapers showed up and then started trying to steal the vampires' cattle, and the vampire took offense to that.
Oh, the Bonereapers were trying to take the bones, but the vampires were like, well, no, we need to reanimate those full skeletons. Stop stealing their fucking legs.
Yeah, basically. So that's what happened. And, like, they actually almost came to blows over it. Like, they were gonna start fighting over it. And then another character from the Bonereapers showed up, Vok Mortian.
Oh, yes, Vok Morton. He's actually a very important character. He's like
Yes.
big boy of the Bone Tithe. He's like the leader of the Bone Tithe.
Yeah.
And he
So
has like
shows
he
up
has
and basically settles it.
Well, no,
He's-
here's the thing. He has a direct tie to Nagash. Like what he sees, Nagash sees.
Yeah.
And it's actually said that, like, basically, if he walks up to a town, he's like, Bone Tithe time. And they're like, no. Nagash is like, I'm going to look at these people, and they're going to fucking die from terror.
Yeah.
Because they can basically see me, and then they die. And then it's like, give me your bones.
Yeah. It's like, you had the option to comply. Now you will comply.
Yeah. No, and he can, he's also special. Sorry, this is the last thing, and then I'll stop.
Well, I mean,
his special...
this is basically it. So if you want to go into Vok Mortian after this...
The reason why it's funny when you said he settled it is basically whenever there's, like, kind of disloyal lords or some, like, Bonereapers that are being kind of skitsy because they're souls, Vok Mortian can basically compel the forces of death to follow his command, basically with a glance. Like, he'll walk up and be like, ah, yes, random hand gesture, and they're like, I'm sorry, Daddy, please forgive me.
Oh, well, yeah, if he's basically the herald of the ash.
He basically forcibly compels him. So I doubt he settled him more when he's like, you gotta stop fighting now. And they're like, yes, father, and that's what they did.
What I was reading, it does actually say that, like, they did actually start fighting, and then he showed up, and then they were like, no longer fighting.
Yeah, because that means that Gash is like, quit your shit.
Yeah, especially considering it's 2 factions of death.
Yeah, no, Vok Mortian is a very important
Speaking
character.
of which, do you want to go over Vok Mortian?
Well, I just went. I talked about. So, Mitchell, do you have a character you want to talk about?
I think Mitchell's too entertained by the game.
Arcan the Black is Nagash's chief.
This motherfucker just is going to talk about fucking Arcan. I don't think he's actually part of Ossiarchs.
Oh, he is.
Like, officially. He is?
Yep,
There's
that is
more
most
scroll.
definitely a data table.
So,
Or data sheet.
Ossiarchs are like the shittiest faction now, right?
Yeah.
He
They weren't
is
already.
Nagash's chief toe licker, toe sucker. So that's really about it. It's like #1 fanboy. He's actually Nagash's most trusted servant.
Listen, as Croaks, Chief Toe Licker, undead things like their toe bones suck. I don't know what it is. Like it just is. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sigmar likes his sack sucked.
He's actually
tree ladies like simps. Undead things like
he's
their toes
really he's a really potent magic caster, but we're not sure if he's even alive at the moment because he kind of fell off the edge of the world.
of Hish, right?
Yes.
He was fighting with fucking Eltarion, I think, or Eltarion.
Alvarion,
The living suit of elvish armor.
Yeah.
And he was fighting him, and he just got yoked off the edge of the fucking world into like the cracks in the dimensions.
Yeah, so we don't know if he's back just yet, but he is part of the Bonereapers because I think they just kind of shoved him in there. I really
He's actually one of the good demons following around the Yellow King.
Well, they couldn't put him in Soul Blight because he doesn't exactly fit, and if he wasn't Soul Blight,
honestly,
I think
he would have
Neferata.
he really would have fit better in Soul Blight.
You think so?
I really think.
I feel like if he was in Soul Blight, he would just be like a chief advisor in Neferata's Legion because like his whole thing is like besides like simping for Nagash, he like simps for Neferata, and that's like his whole shtick.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd have his own Legion. He'd just be like, oh yes, I'm just here to like suck Neferata's toes, and that's basically it.
I mean, that's what he did in the old world.
Yeah, so I think him being in Soul Blight would be a disservice to his character because like he just wouldn't do anything but be Neferata's bitch.
I think they might be trying to get rid of him or something. Like how they might be trying to get rid of Archon.
Han.
Please.
Han.
No, I'm talking about Archeon.
Do you think they would?
I'm talking about Arcan.
Do you think they'd actually just like get rid of?
They're like superpowering like Be'lakor and giving his own legion and stuff.
They superpower the Celestin Prime and make him fucking relevant on tabletop.
My God, he's so bad.
No,
he's not worth the points.
No. Listen, I've said it once, said it 1,000 times. Make him 200 points more expensive and make him a fucking monster. Like straight up, like make him more expensive and make him like Archeon level. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
Like we have our flavor of Archeon, basically have flavor of Celestin Prime.
Oh yeah. But no, we can't have that. Stormcast can't have nice things. Here's a
I feel like there's like millions of AOS players coming to beat you with a stick now.
No, this is like a War Thunder meme. Germany suffers.
Oh, do I want to know?
Dude, like the 6.0 to like 8.0 Germany tanks. Fuck, they're bad. Fuck,
oh
they're
man, okay,
bad.
I forget. So that's like the tiers of pain. Just like if you're doing World of Tanks, I think if you're playing World of Tanks, I forget which faction it is. There's one faction where it's like basically
you
after
mean France.
I think it's like in World of Tanks, it's like after tier 4 to tier 7 is just like you're gonna fucking hate every aspect of this game and it's gonna be fucking miserable. But then you get to tier 8 and you're a god tier.
It's France.
No.
That's France.
Yeah, but no, no, because the joke is like so. German, a little bit of a tangent. German tanks in World War II.
When have you not been on a tangent this episode?
When you take out all of the like shit that broke down and things like that, they're basically just 1-to-1. If you ignore all of their malfunctions, are completely. They're just better than basically every other tank. So in War Thunder, in order to balance that, your Tiger tanks fight Korean War era tanks from like the US and everywhere else. So yes, your Tiger tank is now getting shot at with fucking armor piercing discarding fin stabilized discarding Sabo rounds, and it's just like, bro, this isn't fucking fair.
So what I'm hearing
please.
so what I'm hearing is the Tiger was too powerful to put against World War II tanks, so they're just like fight tanks 20 years more modern than you.
Yeah, no.
How is that okay?
Because
you can't put them against World War II tanks.
No.
The only way you could do
you can't balance them by numbers.
Yeah.
Because the way the actual
4 tanks to 1.
The actual World War II solution to the Tiger tank was just outnumber it like 50-1. Like for every one Tiger produced, America produced 50 Shermans.
You can't do that.
You can't do that in a game where it's 16 players versus 16 players.
No. This is what they do. This is what they should do. Every like minute or minute and a half of the game, there is a 20% chance the Tiger tank will just shut down for a minute straight and just not be functional.
I mean, yeah. I'd fucking take that if it means I didn't have to fight against fucking APFSDS.
Lore accurate.
Who else would you like to talk about? Or are we done?
Well, we're gonna go over a couple characters. Look. I've had two.
Can we talk about Mr. Dickface, Arcavalos Xantos?
I thought we already did. That's the first person.
Arcavalos Xantos? Yes, I talked about him already.
Wait, that was the first person we talked about.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were... for whatever reason, I got it in my head that you had talked about Vok.
No, you're good. I talked about
whatever.
Anyway, actually, let's take a second then, because we've done a couple characters, and I think whenever we talk about Catacross, we'll probably do some more characters that are involved with him. Let's talk about a couple units that could be out of the battle tome. You look at a couple like cool spicy units and you kind of describe them and like see what they do.
Nagash.
Motherfucker,
really? He's just in here. Yeah, no, I flipped the page.
Cast spells and win.
Spin the wheel.
Not really. Nagash is unfortunately too expensive to make him efficient.
I think the only one that I would really even like to talk about are the. I can't.
Oh, Vokmordian actually has a
Model, yeah.
model, yeah.
So does Xantos.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, yeah,
even-
that's
I
why I call-
can't
that's
have
why I
it
call
all.
it
Okay,
Dick
you were
face.
looking at his model, gotcha.
Yeah, he's got like the. If you've ever seen the depiction of
Here,
like the
give it.
Egyptian royalty and how they'll like bind their beards together into the.
bink, yeah.
Yeah, he has one of those, but like.
It's a bone?
just a bone on his face, and so it.
Dick face, gotcha.
Yeah. The resemblance is a little
Basically,
uncanny.
the Ossiarch Bonereapers are gonna kind of be like the Soul Blade, where it's just like lots of different skellies. But every now and then you'll have like a 3-headed, 19-armed skeleton giant with a dick skeleton. That's pretty neat. So
That's the they have the Gaziar Harvester, which just harvests kind of like bones. This is literally the model with the dick skeleton.
oh yeah, this is the other way they do like the bone collections. Basically, like if I'm a high elf and I'm like in my city's being sieged by Ossiarch Bonereapers and they're fucking my shit up, those guys will like collect my dead while I'm fighting to go make into more Ossiarch Bonereapers.
Yeah.
And that's another way that they collect bones. Is just like stealing corpses on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Think of it kind of like Tyranids eating biomass behind the first big wave of Tyranids. Like the back wave, they're just a bunch of fucking I forget what they're called, little mite-looking things that eat biomass. Kind of the same thing.
Hormigons?
No, not Hormigons. They're a little like I think a little like slug-like thing or something like that.
Oh, it's been too long.
But basically, like behind, like if the initial attack wave is like up here, I'm doing this for Phil, so I know you can't see. Up here, behind them is going to be like a bunch of nits eating all the biomass. It's the same thing. So instead of eating biomass, they're just grave stealing bodies.
Ooh.
Okay.
Is that the one model you want to talk about?
That's the only one I want to talk about.
I'm assuming the majority is going to be like skellies with
a
bows,
little
skellies
more,
on horses.
a little more like elite.
They just look cooler.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for the episode. But now it's tangent time.
I'm gonna go watch the game now.
I know like we've talked about it in the Discord a little bit, but like, can we please talk about the Leagues of Votann? Because like, what the fuck? I feel like the Leagues of Votann.
Y'all too ran about that because
Oh.
It's AOS rules in 40k.
Really?
They're okay. One of their weapons, I think it's called like like Magna Rail cannon, is basically its damage is like 6 plus 2d3. It's 4 plus 2d3. That's the damage. It's on one of the Leagues of Votann's like tank like things. It's a heavy one. It's a heavy one with range like 48 or 72 inches, I think. But it's important. So the damage is 4 plus 2d3.
Yeah.
On a 6, I think, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but on a 6 up to wound, your wounds don't fall off. They keep going until the unit's dead or you've run out of wounds to allocate. So I shoot a squad of guardsmen and I roll double 6s, so I'm doing 10 fucking damage and they have 1 wound. Cool, I've just killed 10 models. And it's AP like 6 or AP like 5.
This is not a good army to release for 40k.
No. I mean, it's heavy one.
Also, they're supposed to be
heavy
squads.
one, so there's
squads
that.
are supposed to be funny, and they made them super serious, and I hate that so much.
It's just like aesthetically, I like how they look because I like the Leagues of Votann being very technologically advanced because that's kind of in their shtick, and I like how they went a different route than Tau because I think it's not like Gauss rifle, it's more like super hyper lethal Melta essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically just a variance on standard Imperial fare,
and it's a new weapon type too because it's not like Assault 1 or Heavy 1. It's like HNTR 1. Hunter 1 or something like that. It's a whole new weapon type.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm finding it right
Yeah.
Pull that up for me. I'm curious about that.
It's in the.
Well,
I'm pretty sure Johnny Doe posted it and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was looking at it and I was just like, "Jesus fucking Christ!"
Well, it'll end up being like the orc Daka, because technically orcs have their own weapon type as well. They have Daka.
It's so fucking dumb. I'm looking at all points and it's gonna be in a fucking other realms and I am retarded. I apologize.
It's okay. I still love you.
Really?
I don't.
No.
Wow. You know what, Mitchell? No one loves you. So like, fuck off.
You can't hurt me with the things I already know.
I know. I'm just making sure you never forget.
Thanks.
We like to remind you about it.
You can't hurt me, cries in the corner. That's what I thought, bitch.
Sticks and stones, sticks and stones, sticks and stones.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I've
Good
become so
God,
focused
the
on
fucking
this.
Star Wars rant in the other world. In the other realms. Jesus Christ.
Star Wars trash.
Went on for so fucking long.
I mean,
Disney ruined Star Wars.
yeah, a little bit. How's the game?
It's like 9-14.
And I'm still up.
Yeah.
You can't lose points in football. What the fuck am I saying? Don't know why I bothered asking that.
Oh, here it is. Okay.
Let me see.
So this is the gun. And
Just
then,
hand me the phone. It's a heavy one.
but there's fucking I forget the H and TR somewhere. It's like its own special thing, but it also has like the Magna Rail keyword.
There is no H and TR on here.
This is the wrong one then. My apologies. Where is it?
On the other hand, that is in fact a heavy one. Strength 14, AP
Oh, sorry.
4 damage.
It's 2d3 plus 6, not 2d3 plus 4. Read the Magna Rail keyword.
Strength.
Okay, here we go.
He could just go against like Titan.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's like pew pew. And it's
that
gain
will
help.
wound a knight on a 3-up.
They can just you're just like.
That wounds a Redemptor driven on a 2-up. I'm pretty sure Redemptor is toughness 7.
7.
Yeah.
Only toughness 8 is the
No, read it
iron
out.
sights.
Read it out loud.
Magna Rail. The kin utilize linear accelerator weapons to fire hypervelocity projectiles capable of punching holes through any target.
Oh, it's Matt cannons. My bad.
Yeah, which, okay, I've always found that funny. Matt cannons is redundant because literally it's
I know.
mass accelerator cannon.
I know. I just...
I always find that funny. But
Yeah.
anyway, some Votan weapons have the Magna Rail ability. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon, invulnerable saving throws cannot be taken against that attack. Okay. On an unmodified wound roll of 6, excess damage that weapon inflicts is not lost. Instead, keep allocating excess damage to other models in the target until either all the excess damage has been allocated or the target unit is destroyed. Okay, so this is what I wish the blast keyword was.
See, I can understand the blast keyword because it's a big-ass explosion.
Like,
this is like one... It's like fucking pew!
I get that blast is supposed to represent...
By the way, it's
you're
9-17. I'm sorry, I was wrong.
It's what?
9-17.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
confused
real
for a
fast,
second.
before you continue, the heavy Magna Rail cannon is 36-inch range, heavy 1, strength 14, AP 4, damage 2d3 plus 6.
Yeah.
It does 8 damage minimum.
Yeah. So, here's the issue I have with that. Is, oh god, that can one-shot a Redemptor Dreadnought.
Yeah! Even with the fucking minus 1 to...
Yeah, as long as... Well, no, it would have to get a max roll.
I'm not even fucking done. I'm not... Oh, Hunter Weapons. Here it is.
Yeah, it would
I'll
have
let
to
you
get... It
finish,
would
I'll
have
show
to get a
you.
max roll, but yeah, you could one-shot a Redemptor. But... Fuck, goddamn.
Yeah, see,
And
I
then-
can understand that for blast weapons 100% because that's a big-ass explosion.
Yeah, and
I
that's,
don't think
that's,
that- I
that's
don't
what
think-
I wish blast weapons were. I don't... Yeah, because that's the thing is, like, I don't care for the fact that... I just don't care how blast weapons are implemented. Like, I get that a blast is supposed to be multiple shots and things like that.
Well,
but I
also-
really wish that it was just like, I fire 3 grenades. My grenades explode and deal 3 damage. And, like, I feel like, yeah, there should just be a keyword in there that's
Bring
like, on a
back
6
the
up to wound,
blast
you
charts.
just deal, like, the maximum wounds to
Also,
everything.
when it comes, like, this is one of the few things that I actually, like, I would love to pull over from Horus Heresy into 40k is blast radiuses.
That's
Blast
just-
weapons. I would fucking love that. It's basically everything in this area takes X amount of damage,
and
period.
scatter.
Yeah,
Blast,
period.
that's
That's just 7th edition,
and
yeah.
scatter. Huh?
It's
That's,
seventh
just
edition,
old
yeah.
edition, yeah.
But I,
Yeah.
see,
but
that's
I wish they were.
because that makes
honestly,
sense.
I like Horus Heresy, even though it's like has a shitload of keywords. It's still so much better than fucking 9th. Because in
Dude,
9th edition, and this is the
everybody's-
big complaint that everyone I talks to has, is that ninth edition is overbloated in keywords, not in the sense that each faction has too many keywords, but there's too many different keywords across different factions for the same exact fucking thing. In Space Marines, it's a feel no pain, which is the same thing as a ward in Age of Sigmar. Except in Age of Sigmar, it's just called a ward regardless of your fucking faction.
The Elder have an FMP, but it's not called FMP, and the Nids have an FMP, it's not called
FMP.
Or in AOS,
the Tau
it's
have an
ward.
FMP, and it's not called a fucking FMP.
And in AOS,
and like
it's just
everybody
ward.
gets fucking annoyed by it, because now all of a sudden, not only do you have to learn your own army keywords and the universal keywords, you have to learn everyone else's fucking keywords too. Whereas if you just standardized all of them, you could just make all of them part of the standard keyword assortment.
Listen,
and then you just have to memorize once.
Like, at this point, I'm still buying models 40k. Like, I'm going to buy a bunch of the World Eaters and shit. I'm going to buy some more Nids. I just have to get around to it. But I'm probably not going to hop back in and play again until 10th edition.
I physically can't because
I fucking love 40k, but 9th edition is such a clusterfuck.
I haven't played in 3 months, and I feel like I have to completely relearn the game. And I'm just no,
because
it's a completely new game.
The CP system's differently because like they had to deal with the fucking Alpha Strike problems. They were just like, cool, we're just gonna implement AOS to CP, but like shittily.
Yeah, you now have to. You now no longer get a free Warlord trait and a free relic.
Yeah, I know.
You have to pay for them,
I know.
and you start with half the CP.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, what the fuck?
Why would you change?
All they needed to do was just make stratagems more expensive,
or limit the number of CPs you can spend throughout the round.
or you can only use 2 stratagems or something, or 1 strat, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they're like fuck it all up, make it more complicated.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck would you do that?
All they had to do was say like, hey, here are the core stratagems. You can use one of these per phase. Here, any other stratagem you can use once per phase, but you can only use one stratagem.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No. I would say this.
Because like the core stratagems are like
I would
reroll,
say you
command
can.
reroll.
Yeah, you can use 2 stratagems per phase, 1 core and then 1 anything else.
Yeah. What time are we at?
I don't know, but this is rant phase.
We're
so
at
like,
2.
Okay.
So we're finishing up. It's just almost done.
Yeah.
Here are the hunter weapons. It's capital HUN, capital TR weapons. Hunter. I'm gonna read it off. I'll let you look at it.
Okay.
The number of attacks that a model makes with a hunter weapon is equal to the number written on that weapon's profile after its type. For example, a model shooting a hunter 1 weapon can make 1 attack with that weapon. A model firing a hunter 3 weapon can make 3 attacks, and so on. That's it.
Bruh.
That's literally it.
So basically,
It's assault 1, assault 2, whatever the fuck. Like, it just it shoots. It shoots, and there's no keyword. No like you can shoot after you advance or whatever. It's just like yes, you can shoot. It's just shoot.
It's just okay. So it's literally just I'm gonna negate the. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of okay with that because like we kind of needed a keyword that was just nothing
shoot.
happens.
Yeah, shoot. Bullet.
Just shoot.
Yeah, and so
yeah, I'm kind of surprised that that's never been done before.
with the name, I just kind of expected it to be a little more special or have a kind of flavor. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
And this is a bolter they have. It's the Ossiarch pattern bolter, 24-inch range, Hunter 2, Strength 4, AP 1, Damage 1.
Strength 4, AP 1, Damage 1.
But it gets 2 shots though.
Okay, so it's just a standard bolter.
Yep. Well, I think standard bolters only have 1 shot.
They're rapid fire 1.
Yeah, they have 2 shots with conditions.
Yeah, so
Kind
like
of.
it's just
A bolter.
a less conditional bolter.
But so here's something: they have a SP heavy conversion beamer with
those are in the game. They're just very uncommon. But yes, please continue.
They have the ability. Basically, if I shoot you, I draw the line. Everything the line's hitting gets dealt damage.
Yeah.
But I think they're kind of standardizing the beam keywords. I think a lot of more of their shit's gonna have beam.
Oh yeah, in the Leagues of Votann they are.
Yeah. Yep. In the Leagues of Votann.
Oh look, another keyword that
Yep.
I have to memorize for not my fucking army.
Yep. And then this particular this SP heavy conversion beamer, it's range 30, Hunter 2, Strength 8, AP 3, Damage 4.
Wait, Hunter 2?
Hunter 2. 2 shots at Strength 8, AP 3, Damage 4.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's spicy, Melta.
Yeah. And that's like all of their shit. Their whole thing is as much as this fucking infuriates me, what the vibe I'm getting from votes, and I might be wrong. I haven't done a whole lot of research, so I might be wrong. So don't like crucify me for this. But it just kind of seems like they're gonna be maybe not better, but definitely just like different versions of salamanders. Just we do dumb shit with like
They're just
heavy
different
damage weapons.
They're different Space Marines. That's what they are.
Essentially.
Except that basically none of their shit's gonna have the heavy keyword.
Yeah, and they're not gonna.
But they're also not gonna get rapid fire or assault.
and they're not gonna get armor of contempt.
Yeah. Which for them is gonna kind of suck because like they only get 1 wound, except for their sergeant, which gets 2.
I'm not done yet. This is a I think this is like a faction thing for them called Ancestral Fortitude. Once per battle, when you make a hit roll, wound roll, damage roll, or saving roll for this model, which is him, leader, for this model, or a friendly Greater Thurian League unit within 6 inches of them, you can change the result of that roll to a 6 for any rules purpose. This counts as an unmodified 6.
Let me see.
So I think that means the greater
Okay.
unit bullshit probably means
So,
for like
so this is like
enemies.
this is kind of like a quote unquote chapter specific
Yeah,
character.
but the thing is, you can change
or
any of
ability.
those to a 6, and it counts as an unmodified 6.
Yeah, hang on. Once per battle round, when you make a hit roll. Oh.
Does that just
Okay,
not
so
seem
it's-
kind of busted?
Well, it is only
It's
once
not-
per round.
But it's not just. But it's just this automatic unmodded 6. So you can do that for the big shooty thing and bet cool. This is I'm making this unmodified 6 immediately, so all my damage now rolls over. And oh look, it's 2d3 plus 6, and I've done fucking 14 wounds.
Yeah, you're gonna average 4 wounds, which means you're going to average 12 damage per shot. with
So
that thing.
my entire problem, the reason why I hate 40k at the moment in 9th edition is because it's just nothing but more and more power creep, and this literally cements the fact.
Yep.
That's all it's doing.
They're no longer trying to be different. They're just trying to be stronger. Every codex needs to be stronger because the stronger the codex, the more the army sells. And then the next is stronger, the next stronger, the next stronger, and then it's gonna come to the end of the 9th. Whatever fucking codex is last is gonna be dominating.
Necrons. Oh, last. You mean the latest, not dead last.
It's gonna be it's gonna be at the end of 9th, and the last codex to be released is gonna be the fucking strongest army de facto, even after nerfs, because it's the last. It's gonna have the most power creep.
So everybody believes
everything's
that
gonna be fucked until 10th.
So everybody believes that in 10th they're going to do another like just wipe.
Another overhaul of the system.
They fucking need to.
And like all the codexes won't matter. It'd just be like, these are your armies.
And I'm cool with that.
This is what you get, and then-
everything needs a new fucking codex, and I mean everything. Every
Yeah.
Space Marine faction, every CSM faction, everything needs to be fucking completely redone.
Give me my Emperor's Children for the love of God.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry that I'm getting old.
Are we done?
That's it. Yeah, sorry, rant over. That was a brief little rant, but I was looking into Votan shit, and I was like, what the fuck is this? So.
Okay.
We'll
Bye,
see,
guys. Have
We'll
fun.
see y'all in 2
Hasta
weeks. We're
luego.
doing Gotrick, and last announcement we forgot to do if we haven't already cemented the. If you didn't listen to last episode, we are confirming we're going to LVO. So we'll see you there. Rant over. Y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Goodbye.